Hello and happy weekend, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Uh, if you could take a second to like the stream, that would be much appreciated. Just click the little thumbs up button. It makes YouTube happy, and I like making YouTube happy. If you've been following the ongoing saga with our heat, I am happy, and Zach is very sad, to report that our heat has been restored. And so we once again have heat, so hopefully I will not have to use a space heater as part of my streaming setup anymore. So I am quite excited by that, which is especially good because the high is going to be 32 for the next however long here, so exciting. Or 0 for those of you who use Celsius, which is basically everyone. Alrighty, I don't think I have any big news. Happy weekend. It's Friday for me, but it's Saturday for some of you. So happy weekend, whichever. So today's puzzle that was voted on by my supporters is Hooked by dumediat. So this puzzle was voted for by dumediat. Luda, Afraid Not, Tallcat, Crispy, Russ, Chili, Derek, David, and Wisteria. There was this gigantic pile-up at 9 votes for a tie last time, and this was part of that pile-up, but it is the lead officially now. You are absolutely allowed the shameless self-vote. There is no shame in voting for your own puzzle. If you are happy to, if you want me to do your puzzle, you should vote for it if you have voting privileges. Alrighty, so 11ticles is going out of their comfort zone and going for 7. So the rules here are interesting. So we have normal X sums rules. So for example, if this digit is a 4, it's saying that this 16 is the sum of these 4 digits. So this could be 2 and 3 and 7, for example. And that would work for the 16 clue, because these numbers maybe add to 16 if I did it right in my head. I think they do. So that's how X sums work. The first digit after the clue is what tells you how big the clue is. So it's sort of like a build-your-own-killer thing, more or less, but phrased in a less exciting way. And then these are renban, which means this has to be a string of consecutive digits in any order. This giant renban, though, is not really one renban. This giant renban is really a whole bunch of renban, because what the rules say is any length 5 string that you take out of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has to fulfill the renban rule. So it has to be a string of 5 consecutive digits. But in whatever order you like. Ooh, I like the idea that every Sudoku is a build-your-own classic. That's interesting. So one thing that's interesting about that I'm noticing is that if I highlight these are 5 consecutive digits, and these are 5 consecutive digits, but these 2 digits can't be the same. And so actually, the way the rules work, these are 6 consecutive digits. They have no choice but to be. So this is in fact 6 consecutive digits. I don't know what to do with it. I'm sure it'll be relevant later. But let us get started. So let's start by filling in the potential digits that go on these X sums. So what's the smallest I could do 25 in? I can't do it in 3, but I could easily do it in 4, 5. Let's see, is 6 possible? 6 is possible, but 7 would be too big. So I think this has got to be a 4, a 5, or a 6. And this has got to be, let's see, I cannot do it in 2. I could do it in 3, annoyingly, 4 or 5, but I can't do it in 6. This is now as much as 7, but as few as, can I do it in 4? 4, 9, 8, 7 is perfect. So 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all of these. And this is, let's see, it's at least 3, can't be 2 because I can't do 2 and 15. 3, 4, and 5 is the largest that this could be. Okay. Oh, and this one I might as well mark the others because of that. So this is, let's see, 26 is at least 4. And then 7 would be too big. And this 16 is at least 3. And then 5 would be too big. Because if you try and do 16 and 5, you have to use a 5, then you can't. Okay, so this is only 3 or 4, which is interesting. Okay, so now the thing that Chad is pointing out is that I actually know something rather significant about these 2 digits in light of what I said. Which is that in light of what I said, these 2 digits, what are the possibilities if this is a string of 5 consecutive digits, but it would also be a string of 5 consecutive digits if I did that? Okay. Well, one possibility is that the 2 blue digits are the same. But the 2 blue digits can't be the same. Which must mean that this digit is on one of the ends, and this digit is on one of the ends. But that means these 2 digits are the ends of a length 6 renban, which means they differ by exactly 5 if you count. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 difference. Okay, and so what that means is this can't be a 5. And likewise, this digit has to be a 1 or a 9 in order to differ by 5 from these digits. Okay, so this is a 1 or a 9. And that's very interesting. Let's see. The 4 here would go with a 9 here. Yeah, so the 4 and 9. So if I'm just trying to figure out if this is 4 and 9, is it at all possible the X sum works? It seems unlikely to me. So I don't think this combination is going to work, because now I need these 2 digits to add to 12. I can't use 4, 8, or 3, 9. But if I use 5, 7, I have a huge problem because I need both 5 and 7 in this renban, and I can only put one of them there. So this is not 4, 9. This is 6 and 1. And we get to see our famous 6 dance. Woohoo, 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 waha, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da, woohoo, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da, woo-ba-da-ba-doo, woo, woohoo. Thank you, Zach, for your famous 6y dance. Much appreciated. I appreciate you dancing, even though we put the heat back on. So we've got that, and now... Yes. Zach is a professional. He's not going to let the fact that he's unhappy about the heating situation decrease the enthusiasm of his dances. 2, 3, 4, 5 is what we know these are. But this is a 2, 3, 4, 5 quad. Where does this digit go in the 2, 3, 4, 5 quad? It has to go here. So these 2 are the same digit. These I don't need my bluing anymore. Okay. So that's all very interesting. Oh, this certainly isn't a 2. Why did I put a 2 in this cell? Did I never mark this? I don't know. This is definitely not a 2. That would require this to be an 18. 3, 8, 9 actually seems plausible. 5, unfortunately, isn't so big that I necessarily feel that that's going to break anything. Oh, I marked it and then I removed the marks. Oh, that sounds like me. These 4 digits need to add to 18. And they at minimum add to 14, so I've got a bunch of degrees of freedom as the punchline. Okay, so now I want to look at the same thing must be true the other direction. But I'm going to... So I can do the same thing down here on this U, but before I do that, I want to note that this digit... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this digit... Oh, well, this isn't going to be as good. I don't think. Maybe it will. We'll see. This digit is 6 away from this 1 on this renban, so I believe this digit can only be a 1 or a 6, because either these are the same digit to make the common renban work, or this is 6 away, or sorry, is 5 away. So this is always a 1 or a 6. But just like before, we know these two digits differ by 5. And if this is a 1, that's not possible. So again, by this sort of overlapping magic renban logic, which I really love, by the way, it's very cool. By the overlapping renban logic, these two differ by 5. But if this was a 1, they could not be 5 apart. So this is a 6. So that's not a 6. Let's see. This can't be a 4 anymore because these two would add to 10, and I would need these two to add to 18, and they can't. So I can get rid of 4 from there. So that is interesting. We know that these are from 2, 3, 4, 5, then, in order to make a renban with 1 and 6 work. These two, again, differ by 5, so that one's not a 5, because no digit differs from 5 by 5. And so this digit is a 7, 8, or 9, because it has to differ from the 2, 3, or 4 over there. Interesting. Okay, so all kinds of cool stuff going on here. Let's see if this is a 3. Not necessarily. I realize I'm using color in 2 different ways. We'll just have to deal with it. I don't think I have much. I guess I could like O these to indicate that they're the same, but I don't know. The orange looks chill in the grid. I think I'm going to keep the orange. Okay. Look at row 4. Right. Row 4, column 4 is one of these 3. Oh, it's because... Right. Sorry, I get it now. It's because I should look at this grouping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so this digit either differs by 5 from that digit or is equal to it, but it doesn't have a choice of being 5 away. These just can't be 5 away. So this is orange. Thank you, mods. That's amazing. I see 3 separate mods pouncing on things. That is amazing. No! Stop! There we go. So this is the orange 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is also the orange 3, 4, because it either is the orange 3, 4 or it differs by 5. Okay, so that means there's not a 9 here, because if there were a 9, I'd need 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I cannot get to 3 or 4. So this can't be a 9, so that can't be a 4. Let's see. Okay, so what are my possibilities here? I feel like I might be able to just figure out what this is, and then that would fix out everything. Otherwise, I can bounce back again, but I might not have to actually bounce back again if I actually think about what these digits are going to be in these instances. If this is an 8, that's a 3, and of course this is a 4. If this is a 7, that's a 2, and this is a 3, 4 pair. This being a 7 is actually interesting, because remember, if this is a 7, it forces these to be exactly the digits 1 through 7. But that's not... I think that's not so interesting. Okay, I'm going to go backwards now. I feel like that's going to be forced, but I can't quite see it, and there might be lower hanging fruit. So this 2, 3 going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this digit is now the blue 2, 3, because again, these two have to differ by 5. So this is the blue 2, 3. That didn't look promising to me, but it's, I mean, it's true at the very least. So it's not nothing. Let's see. I suppose I could ask where 9 is in this box or something like that, because the 9 can't be on one of these renban, and if the 9 is on this renban, that's very interesting. Okay, so Nicholas points out we do get a single candidate elimination if we snake up one more. So this digit and this digit have to be the same because they can't differ by 5. So this can never be 2. Which is interesting. And so these two are the same, and they aren't orange or blue, so they can be green. I don't know if this is really a coloring puzzle, but it might be. I don't know. Could be. So I'm still looking at these various, seeing if there's an interaction between the renban and the x sum. Like if this is 3, this has to be 8, 9 exactly, but I think that's okay. Let's see. It is worth pointing out I can corner mark some 5s, so I know there's a 5 in one of these two cells, not that one. I mean, that could be a 5, I don't know. I know there's a 5 in one of these cells, and I know there's a 5 in one of these cells. And of course, the 5s actually trail onward, so if this is 5, that's 5, and if this is 5, that's 5. There is a 5 Jovi wing, that's true, because I know 5 in this box, this is Jay Dyer's point, 5 in this box is in one of these 4 spots, which aligns with these two, which tells me there's definitely a 5 over here somewhere. I concur with that assessment. This digit has got to be that digit. I'll go ahead and make them yellow. Because again, they differ by 5 or are the same and can't be the same. So yellow in this box actually is pretty restricted. Yellow in this box only goes in one of those two spots. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's look at these two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is going to do it, because these two cells either have to differ by 5 or be the same, but I think the only thing they can be is the same. Because it actually was that 2 that Nicholas eliminated earlier that did it. These two can't differ by 5, there just aren't any combinations, so they have to both be 5. So that is cool. So 5s are green, much to Casey's happiness. So no 5 there or in the corner, no 5 there. No 5 there, of course. These aren't 5 anymore. So no 5 there either. Okay, so this is either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in one universe, these are a 3-4 pair. And in the other universe, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is either 3, 4, or 7, for whatever it's worth. That is not the most fantastic combination of news I've ever gotten, but what are you going to do? These 3 cells need to add to 17. I don't have a lot to tell you about that, I'm afraid. I don't think this renban... Oh, it does. It could be 1, 2. So this renban, I think, is always 1, 2, or 8, 9. I think those are the only options for it. Let's see. I've now got these things down here. Does that break the ability of this to be 4? If this is 4, then I'd need these 3 to sum to 12. I could not use both 2 and 3, and I couldn't use 5 or 6. I don't know. Chat will tell me if that's impossible. That sounds like the kind of thing chat would know. These 4 cells sum to 20. Oh, I'm missing a candidate down here? Okay, so... 2, 3, 4... What am I missing? Oh, right. If this is 3, 8, this could be a 2. Got it. Okay, so this could be 2. Because if this is 3, 8, I don't know that this is... Wait, no. If this is 3, 8... No. I don't believe that. If this is 3, 8, this can't be 2 because I need to have a 7 on it. And this is the only place the 7 can go. I do not believe that this can ever be 2. Because of the reason I just said. I am missing something egregious if that is true. But I think my argument that in the 3-8 universe this is a 7 is correct. Let's see. If this is a 3, I need these to add to 13. Do I need to think about that? I don't know. Let's see. I've got some action with the 6s. I feel like I'm supposed to now be looking back at the X sums, but it's possible I'm not actually supposed to be looking at the X sums, but I'm not sure. If this is 3, I need these to add to 14, which would have to be 6, 8. So if this is a 3, this is an 8, and this is a 6. Does that break? Because I'm seeing that makes this a 7. No, that makes this a 7 and this a 2. It does work. So I think it's okay. I was hoping that the fact that this had to be a 6, 8 and that forced that to be a 7 was going to be bad, but I don't think it's bad. Let's see. Let's see. I've got some stuff going on with 5s. Okay, let's see. Garion says if one of these is a 4... Oh, no. Garion just says one of them definitely is a 4. Because if neither of them is 4, my renban doesn't work. Because my renban has a number less than 4 and a number bigger than 4. And these are the only places that can be 4. So this is never 4. Is Garion's point. I agree with Garion. It is a good spot. Let's see. I'm trying to decide, can there be a 7 on this renban? No, because if there's a 7 on this renban, that's an 8, and then there's no 7 on this renban. So this is 1, 2, or 8, 9. Those are the only options for this. So is my question supposed to be something like, where does the 6 go in this box? Because the 6 in this box can only go in one of these two spots. That doesn't seem promising. Oh, could it be 2, 3? If it's 2, 3, then this is 4 and 7. Oh, darn it. I think you're right. I think it can be 2, 3. Well, that's horrible. Because then this would be 4, 7, 8, 3. I think that does work, actually. I was so concerned about the upper part, wasn't even thinking that there could be a 3 on it. But yeah, there can be a 3 on it. Let's see. I mean, blue in this box, I know, is in one of these two cells. Hey, Stum, welcome. I hope you are doing well. We are having an adventure with this. Let's see. So maybe I should write out what my candidates for this are. So Kurban says it can't be 1, 2. If it's 1, 2, what goes wrong? That's 2, and that's 1. And that's 2. I don't think I quite see what goes wrong if this is 1, 2. Oh, it makes the 20 too high. Oh, it's not a Renban issue, it's an XSum issue. So if this is a 1, 2, then these have become a quad, and these are from 7, 8, 9. And so now these are at least 15, and that's already too big. So these are not 1 and 2. And if I make them 2 and 3, it's even worse, or 3 and 4, it's even worse. So these are only from 7, 8, 9. There's always an 8 on it. So that was a great spot by Kurban. I did not appreciate that. And now I've got to think about outies here, because now I've got some huge outies up here. So if this is a 6, then my outies up here sum to 19. And so let's see, I've got to ask myself if that's possible. 9 and 8 and 2, or 8 and 7 and 4. If this is a 5, then I need these 4 cells to add to 19. And that would make this cell exactly a 1, I guess. Hey, Ranks, how are you? I'm going to look at Navario's point now. I can pencil mark 3 in box 3. Since you know those 3 cells sum to 20. These 3 cells sum to 20. No. These 3 cells. No, I don't know what I know about 3. Oh, Navario is saying these 3 cells sum to 20 just by the outies of the 25. So the same thing I was doing with the outies of the 26. These 3 cells sum to 20 because these 3 cells sum to 25. So therefore, these 3 cells cannot involve a 2. I think is Navario's point. And in fact, actually, because these 3 cells sum to 20 and there's an orange in it, they're either 3, 8, 9 or 4, 7, 9. So actually, these are the only options for these cells. And that gives us a quad. Okay, that was very clever. Very good spot. Oh, it doesn't give us a quad because there's a 4 over there. Never mind. Well, there's a quad if you forget the 4, which I think is a good argument for forgetting the 4, if ever there was one. But there's a virtual 7, 8, 9 triple regardless. So these digits are not from 7, 8, 9. So they are from 2, 3, 4, 5, not 6, 7, 8, or 9. Okay, and a bunch of them aren't 5. So for example, that one's not 5 and that one's not 5. But this one, therefore, being always 2, 3, 4 is going to be very interesting with this. If this was 7, it can't get low enough. So this is not 7, 8, or 9. This is orange. And these two are not orange, so they're not 3, 4 anymore. They're not 3, 4 anymore. Okay, so now we've got our goodies. One of these two is definitely 3, regardless of what else is happening, because otherwise... my renban... Oh, no, that's not true. Never mind. Sorry. That could be 3. Don't listen to me. I know this digit is from 1, 2, 3, 4. For whatever it is worth. This is a 2, 3, 4 triple. So these two cells are a 1 and a 7, 8, 9. And the other 7, 8, 9. So they're from 1, 7, 9. Yes, Jaleb is asking where blue is going in row 3. And so blue in row 3 can't go here. Blue isn't orange, so blue in row 3 only goes there. That is very clever. So that is a 2, 3. So therefore, this is yellow because blue, yellow, and orange are a 2, 3, 4 triple. And so that is yellow. This is 5 because I have my 2, 3, 4 triple. So no 5 there. I don't know how I screwed that up, but we'll go with it. So there's a 5 in one of these two cells. Let's see. That is true. That is a very wise spot for Josh there, that using setting mode will let us fix clues that don't quite work. This being blue would, of course, make the most sense, but it doesn't have to be blue yet, I don't believe. Let's see, I can't quite place 6 up here yet. This can't be a 3 anymore, though, can it? Because this digit's too small. If this is a 3, I need these two to add to 13. Oh, it could. It could be 4 and 9. Oh, darn it. That is very upsetting. Let's see. Let's see. Jaleb is 3, 4, and row 3, column 8. Removes 9 from row 3, column 2. Right. One of these two is a 9 in order to make the sum work. That was a follow-up from Navario's point earlier. The only ways this worked were Navario's point earlier was to just write out all the cases here. And we did that, but then we didn't get the full amount. Because if this is a 3, these are an 8, 9, and if this is a 4, these are a 7, 9. So in particular, there's always a 9 in one of those, and so that cell is never 9. That is Jaleb's point. Okay. Oh, this cell, I don't think I've ever actually looked at this cell in conjunction with its friend. So this cell goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. these two cells need to be either the same or 5 apart. Oh, no, I do have that. These do have to be the same or 5 apart. That's true. So if this is a 2, that's a 7. Okay, never mind. I did get that part. I thought I had identified a thing I had not yet marked. Let's see. What is there to see? So one of these two is definitely 4. And so this renban definitely has a 3 on it somewhere. So because one of these is the 4 for the row, and this digit is less than 4. This digit is either 4 or it's less than 4, and that digit's either 4 or it's less than 4. So this renban needs a 3 in it in one of these 3 spots. I don't quite know what I'm doing with it yet, but we're figuring it out. So if neither of these is 3, that's 3. And this can't be 1, because then there couldn't be a 4 on it. So this is only from 2, 3, 4, or 5. Those are the only options. And if it is 2, 3, or 4, it's blue. Otherwise, it's 5. Oh, this can't be 4 for the reason I just said. There's a 4 up there. So this is either blue or 5. I'm trying to decide if it being blue would cause a problem down here, but I don't think so. If these are a 3-4 pair, that cell is yellow, maybe. If it's not 7, doesn't seem... Yeah, if these are a 3-4 pair, that cell is yellow. That's true. I don't think that's interesting. To my ability to discern interesting things from uninteresting things. These 3 cells, again, need to sum to 17. So if this were a 1, I would need these two to sum to 16. They'd need to be a 7-9 pair. We can unblue this 7-8. That is allowed. We'll just have to remember that they're linked. I will forget, but that's okay. I agree it is confusing to have colors indicating different things throughout our little, like, fall spread that we have here. That's true. Chat is very good at reminding me of things. Well, here's a dumb point. This cell sees a 2, 3, 4 triple. So this cell is not 2, 3, or 4. Are there any cells that see a 2, 3, 4 triple where it's interesting that they see a 2, 3, 4 triple? So for example, I can mark candidates in this column. Maybe that's interesting. 1, 2, no, not 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These digits are not from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. For whatever that is worth. I feel like there probably is a cell that sees all of blue, yellow, and orange. That's where it's interesting that it sees all of blue, yellow, and orange, but I haven't found it yet. The betting tree might be orange. It's possible. But we try not to talk about those things on this channel. Yeah, if this is a 3, annoyingly 9-4 works. Unless it doesn't work for a complicated reason. Let's see. Maybe these 4 adding to... Can this possibly be a 9? This can only be a 9 if these are a 1, 2, 3 triple. Unfortunately, that seems plausible. See, Garion says this cell can't be a 7. Because if this cell is a 7, that can't be a 3. And so if this is a 7 and that's a 4, those add to 11. And so I would need these to add to 5, but I've already used the 4, so I can't do 4, 1. So this is just never 7. I agree with that. This puzzle had a very gentle introduction. It is not feeling particularly gentle at the moment. Let's see. One of those two is a 5. Let's see. Jaleb says yellow being 2 doesn't work. If yellow is 2, this is 4. And so those would add to 6, and I would need these to add to 10. Why couldn't that be 9 and 1? Okay, Jaleb agrees that could be 9 and 1. Is there any information that I have not successfully milked out of this this Renban? I don't think so, is there? Well, I think one of these cells is always a 3, so I think I know this isn't a 3. Because if there's no 3, well, there just is not no 3. So this cell's never a 3. That is not a useful observation to make, but it's true. Because one of these 3 cells has to be a 3, and it sees all of them. Is the 1, 2 going to break this again? No, I don't think so. Is the 8, 9 going to break this? I don't think so. So maybe I just need to like write out what happens in the in the various options for this. Maybe one of them breaks this 17 or something. So if this is 3, I need these to add to 14. They would have to be 6, 8. That's right. I wrote this in before. So this can't be a 3 if these are 8, 9. If this is a 4, then I need these 3 to sum to 13. But that seems okay. I don't think that gets me any restrictions on these. Oh, wait, maybe it does, actually. If this is a 4... So, if this is a 4 and this is a 1, 2, then that gives me a quad, and that makes these too big, because they're at minimum 7 and 6, but that's already 13 before I add in that cell. So the question is, can this be a 4 with that being a 7? And the answer is annoyingly yes. In fact, if this is a 4, I think that has to be a 7. Somewhat obnoxiously. So this can be a 4 with a 7, so that's still not broken. The way I think this works, Amy, is if this is a 4 and this is a 3, and this is a 9. Unfortunately, I think that works. I think most dumediat puzzles I've done have been fairly gentle before, so I think this is I don't know. That might be a new piece of dumediat's range. Let's see. So again, I'm left with either these sum to 19 or these sum to 19, but there are options either way. I'm again sort of scanning to see if there's cells that see yellow, orange, and blue that I haven't noticed yet. Okay, so Todd thinks this being 8, 9 would be a problem, so let's write it in. So if this is 8, 9, this can't be a 3 anymore, so it's a 4. So this is a 4 and a 3. And now these need to sum to 13. With these digits coming only from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would need this to be a 6. And so these two would need to sum to 7. And that doesn't work, but not for any reason that I can think of that doesn't involve bifurcating. Because the key thing here is this needs to be either 1, 6 or 2, 5, and it can be neither because of that 5 there. So is there so these aren't 8, 9, so maybe there's a smart way to see this. This cell sees yellow, blue, and orange. So that is another one that cannot be 2, 3, or 4. So this is 1, not 2, 3, 4. Could be 5. No, it can't be 5. Can't be 6. And so it's either that or 7, 8, 9. That was Kurban's point. Let's see. Garion believes there's a problem in column 2 if row 9, column 2 is a 5. I'm trying to understand Rank's point as well. If this is a 3, that's a 2. I'm not sure how I'm not sure how much I want to use the just straight up bifurcation I did over here. So if this is a 5, let's go to Garion's point. If this is a 5, I need these to sum to 19. The only way that works is if these are 7, 8, because otherwise they already sum to too much. And so these are 15, and these need to be 1 and 2. No, sorry, 1 and 3 in order to make that work. And so yellow would be 3, and this cell down here would be a 1. You did a very happy bifurcation by accident. Now you can't put 1 in row 4, column 6. Okay. So Garian's point, and it is a good one, is that one of these two cells that I have highlighted, only one of them can be a 1. And so if this is a 5 down here, it creates a problem with that. Because if this is a 5, it forces these two to be a 3 and a 1. But this being a 3 makes that a 4, which requires this to be a 1. So that doesn't work. So that's not... I'm not at all claiming that that is a pleasant or reasonable step, but that's what we're going with. I do like noticing that the 1 is sort of wanting to be in both of these, but it does mean that this is a 6. Which means that this is a 6. Which also means that these cells need to actually sum to 19. And so that could be 7, 8, and 4, or it can be 8, 9, and 2. This is never 3. So this is either 2 or 4. Let's see. So if this is a 4 now, this is a 4 and a 6, and I would need this to be a 2 and a 5, and they can't be, right? So if this is a 4, these add to 10, and so these need to find a way to add to 10. Sorry, these need to find a way to add to 7, but it can't be 1, 6, or 3, 4, so it'd have to be 2, 5, but neither of them can be a 5. So orange is 3. I think we did not really solve this puzzle. I think we're going to fill in all the digits in this puzzle without actually solving it. Because I don't think we figured out whatever the thing was we were supposed to figure out. So that's a 2, so that's a 7. This is a 4. This is not a 2, that's not a 3. This can't be a 1, because that can't be a 2. So no 7 there. So this is a 2 or a 5. I still don't know which, but it is a 2 or a 5. This now just is an 8, so that's a 1 and a 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's a 9. That being a 4 has made this a 7, 8, so that's not a 9 anymore. So that is a 7, 8 pair. That is an 8, so that's a 7 and an 8 and a 9 and an 8. Sorry, and a 9. Trying to do the ranks thing from last night of saying, oh, this can't be that, so I'm going to write it in the cell. I do all the time. But I know Ranks was having a particularly a bit of a time with it yesterday. Let's see. Is it now going to turn out there's some random naked single along here, like this cell or something? This can't be 1, 2. I think it could be 3. It can't be 4. I think it could be 5, maybe. It can't be 6 or 7 or 8, and maybe it could be 9. Okay, so that was not as restricted as one had perhaps fantasized that it would be. Oh, well, this must be done. That's done. That's done. That's effectively done. These two need to sum to 12. So these could be 3, 9. They could be 4, 8. And they can't be 5, 7. So these two cells are one of those two. Yeah, I checked all of them to see whether they were useful or not and completely missed this one. So this one is not done, but it's not useful. But this one I know all but one thing, so that's useful. It's hiding over there, though. You can hardly expect someone to see this one. So those are 7, 15, and 21. So that's a 7 to make that sum work. So that's a 6 and an 8 and a 7. And a 1 and an 8. Did you do this puzzle, Naverio? And if you did you find a different path through it than the one that we have found? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a 5. Let's see. Okay, so I was going to say, and I got rid of 5 from one of my corner marks, so that means I can place a 5. But unfortunately, I got rid of the thing from the corner mark by placing the 5. So this is not 4 or 5. It is 3 or 9, but it's not 9 because it's a 4-9 pair. So this is a 3. Yeah, almost always you do the puzzles before I do. So this can't be a 9, because if it was, it would make that a 5, and there's a very big problem with that. So this is a 4, and that's a 9. And now this can't be a 9, because it's not close enough to 4. And so now this digit is either a 3 or a 6. And in fact, it's definitely a 6, because I need a 6 in one of these cells. I bet that would have been a smarter way to do this. Just Sudoku-logically, that's just a 6. Because you can't put 6 in a 12 sum. So these two digits are an 8 and a 9, so they go in that order. So that is a 4 and an 8. These are a 3 and a something. 3 and a 7. This is a 2. One of these is a 1, and I don't know which one. And one of them is a 4, and I do know which one. So now I know which one is a 1, too. Because that's how Sudoku works. Naverio points out, because this is 4, 6, 8, and this renban needs an even digit, the even digit on it must be 2, and it can't go here, so the 2 goes there. And so this is a 1, because it can't be a 3. Let's see. That's a 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's a 9. Oops, not that. That's a 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. But I guess it also happens fairly often that I'm doing a puzzle and Naverio says I'm going to duck out because I don't want to see this because I want to solve it later. But then I do that when I'm watching Naverio's stream a lot as well. P.S. By the way, if you did not know, Naverio streams Sudoku and other magic things. If you are interested over on Twitch, I recommend it. 4, 5, 6, and 8 go in here. So that is 8 and that is 6. By the way, take a second to like the stream if you have not, please. I greatly appreciate it. It helps attract new eyes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you post a link to Naverio's Twitch channel in chat for Afraid Not and everyone else? There we go. Tristan has given it to you. It's twitch.tv/Naverio24. 7, 9. Let's see. Okay, so this is a 2 or a 9, but it's not a 9, so it's a 2. That's a 9 and a 7. And that has made that a 5, and a 7 and a 5. Which has made that a 5, and a 1 and a 7. These two cells are a 4 and a... Nope, that's it. 4 and a 7. So in that order. These three cells... Oh, I did not see the tier list. That's great. I now want to see your tier list. So these two are a 1-2 pair because that one can't be 1 or 2, and I need a 1 and a 2. And this is a 6. I now want to see the tier list. Okay, so this is a 2, so that's a 1 and a 2. That's a 4. This is a 1. These are an 8 and a 9. This is a 6. And the betting tree is a 3. Yeah, I really liked the intro to the puzzle, and then we got stuck for 50 minutes. And I don't think we got unstuck in a way that would have made me happy with the puzzle overall. But given how smooth this was and how smooth dumediat's puzzles are in general, I suspect there was a thing that we were supposed to find that we didn't. But I really liked the setup and the idea. But yeah, there was some missing piece for me in that puzzle. But I can take a short break here. But I will be back shortly with another puzzle. So fear not, more puzzles to come. When we come back, we're going to be doing this killer puzzle by 2-10th. So we will see it. And I'm going to pull up Navario's tier list to look at it. I'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back. I'm going to shrink myself just slightly there. Move this over a smidge. All right. So Naverio sent me this this tier list of Sudoku constraints. So I'm going to quickly go through how much I like each of these constraints that I've heard of. So let's go. And so just to be clear, this is I'm ranking these. I'm ranking these as a solver, not necessarily as a setter. So let's go. 159 bad. We'll start with that. That might be controversial, but 159 is terrible. Okay. Anti-diagonal, I think, is very good. Let's see. If anti-diagonal was for setting, I think it would probably be in this range for me, because it is a pain in the ass to set, as I learned recently. Anti-king can die in a fire. Anti-knight will say pretty good. I like anti-knight puzzles. Let's see. I have not done any anti-queen puzzles, but if I did an anti-queen puzzle, I can guarantee you it would be in the burn it category. But I think I've never done one, so I'm just going to leave it as I haven't. Anti-XV. So this is XV with a negative constraint. I think I think I like anti-XV. I guess I'll probably get to XV with I'll probably get to XV without a negative constraint later. Let's see, arrow. You know, when I started streaming, I would have put arrow in average, but I think I've grown enough on arrow that I'm going to actually put it up here in the exceptionally good. I think arrow is the perfect second constraint for whatever puzzle it is you're doing. I have no idea what a battlefield puzzle is, so I'm going to put it there. Between lines, my head and my heart are at odds. I feel like I like between lines more than I should. So my heart wants me to put between lines in pretty good, but between lines are not very interesting. Is my my official take on between lines, but I like them anyway. I like them more than that. Chaos construction can go there. There's just so much better ways to do this kind of thing nowadays. And all of them are better than chaos construction puzzles. Basically the problem is that chaos constructions have a very cool opening, and then you spend an hour doing a painful, annoying, irregular puzzle. Let's see. Chinese whispers. Those are whispers where the difference is at most 3, or is it at most 2? Yeah, sorry, these are it's a bit tricky to read on my giant monitor, so I imagine that this is a bit difficult, but you can at least hear where I'm showing them. I don't hate Chinese whispers. We'll put Chinese whispers in the meh category. I've never seen anything that I would consider like especially wonderful with them, but I think they might have potential. Let's see, classic. I mean, how can classic be anything but God tier? I don't think classic can be anything but God tier. I mean, we're here because classic Sudoku stuff is cool. We wouldn't be able to say Sudoku logically without classic Sudoku, so we've got that. Clones. Let's see, clones I think are seriously underused. because I think every time I do a clone puzzle, I enjoy it. So I think I'm going to put clone in the pretty good category. In fact, I think I have a clone variant open to do today. But I think they might be pretty restricted in what you can do. Consecutive pairs. So these are white dots. I mean, let's be honest, they're just renban. So of course they're going to be in the God tier. Deconstruction. So the picture suggests that here by deconstruction we mean J. Dyer deconstruction rather than Math Pesto deconstruction. I think that goes in the pretty good category for me. Oh, I realized I made a mistake earlier. When this said anti-diagonal, it didn't actually mean the thing I thought it meant. So when I said anti-diagonal, I meant this. I have no idea what anti-diagonal is. So I'm just going to put the diagonal there. That's what I talked about. I meant like Sudoku X stuff. Oh, ranks says anti-diagonal means at most 3 digits on each diagonal. I'm comfortable putting that in F- tier. Digit modifiers. Oh, is this like doublers and stuff? Is that what digit modifiers is meant to be? If so, I think that goes in that tier. If like doublers and stuff means that, then I'll put it there. I've done a lot of digit modifier puzzles, and we'll say only mildly sick of them. So I feel like that is a thing. Disjoint, I feel like if used well, is good, but it usually isn't. I'll give disjoint average. It's no anti-king. Ranks is going to in the F Marry Kill game, Ranks is killing disjoint groups, it sounds like. Double arrows. I really like double arrows. I think they can go up here with regular arrows. So Dutch whispers are the lines where you have to have a difference of at least 4. So it's like a German whispers, but it's at least 4 instead of at least 5. I think that's got to go in the Chinese whispers bucket. I haven't done enough of them that I'll look at it and immediately go, oh no, please no. But I also haven't done any puzzles with that have made me go, boy, I really hope we do that. Entropic lines. I think entropic lines are actually pretty good. I'm happy with entropic lines. I think entropic lines are probably better than German whispers, and they do basically the same thing, but I think they're a little bit more interesting. But if I'm looking at this, it looks like perhaps... did Nevario really just not list German whispers? Is it really not here? I really do not see it if it is. Region sum lines are definitely God tier. Region sum lines are just excellent as these things go. Oh, equal lines aren't region sums. Okay, in that case, I don't know what they are. Are region sum lines just not here? Or maybe I just haven't gotten to them yet. Oh, that's where every line has the same sum? Oh, sorry. Okay, there's region sum lines. We're going to put region sum lines up there. Oh, okay, so these are... Wait, are 10 lines and 20 lines? Because 10 lines and 20 lines aren't lines of the same sum. They're lines that can be broken into lines of the same sum. So I don't think 10 lines and 20 lines are examples if what you're saying is like every one of these has the sum. even odd, I think even odd, average are pretty good. This is a tough one. I think average. I think they can be used very well, but the thing that makes even odd clues interesting is the other mechanic. But like every Mr. Menace puzzle with even and odd puzzles with even and odd circles in it is amazing. Extra regions. I'm very pro extra regions. I think extra regions are good geometry stuff. I haven't done enough first even, first odd stuff to have an opinion on that. Fortress, no. Although I think that if Fortress had a better graphic than it does in any of the things, I think Fortress might take off a bit. Like maybe people would set something with Fortress that is better. But at the moment, my entire time doing Fortress puzzles is spent trying to decide which direction the signs are pointing, and when you mix them and whatever, it's unpleasant. Friendly puzzles. There's only one friendly puzzle, I feel like. There are good friendly puzzles, but they're just not something I ever want to see. Like, I audibly groan if I see the word friendly appear in a rule set. Full rank can die in a fire as well. Full rank is... If I had to, like, add an extra tier that's even lower than all of these... Like, I'm going to move 159 up just to make full rank feel worse about itself. Because full rank is so bad. Whispers, I think, are, like, one notch below entropic lines. Like, I think German whispers are fine-ish. Like they can be used in lots of interesting ways. They tend to be very interesting if you use like little German whispers in connection with things. Greater than, if it's in a 2-10th tier, if it's in a 2-10th puzzle, it's God tier. Otherwise, no. Group sums puzzles. I don't think group sums puzzles. I don't think I've done enough of to have an opinion. Yeah, there are plenty of these where it's like, okay, I was really happy to do one of them, but not anymore. Irregular, I think, is going for me. It's so tough because it depends on what people use irregular for. If you promise that no one will say the words law of leftovers when I'm doing it, the irregular can go up probably 2 tiers. But otherwise it's going here in the meh category. Japanese sums, I like Japanese sums okay. I think there's a lot of flexibility of what they can be done for. I'll give that an average. I like the amount of Japanese sums I do. I don't really want to do more, but I also want to keep doing them at the rate I'm doing them. Let's see. Killer is next. I feel like there should have been 2 separate ones. There should have been killer cages with totals and killer cages without totals, separately as things. So I've long said I really dislike the aesthetic of killer cages, but I think they do have a lot of cool flexibility. It is something where when I see a killer puzzle, I am a little bit more inclined to do it. So we can put killer in the exceptionally good category. I am happy with that. Can you post a link to this in the chat, Tristan, for Florian? But while we're talking about killer, let's just casually throw little killer in the fire because little killer is miserable. Kropke with negative constraint. I like Kropke with negative constraint. I I think it goes in the same bucket as negative xv. I don't think that there's a lot of room for puzzles like that, but I don't mind doing a few per year. I don't know what a lemon puzzle is. Lockout lines. I don't really like lockout lines, if I'm honest, but I won't say no to a puzzle on the basis that it is a lockout lines puzzle. So it joins these. It joins this collection of puzzles that if I really like the setter, I might do their puzzle that is these things. If I have ever done an anti-king puzzle by you, it is because I really, really like you as a setter. That is a testament to that. Magic squares I despise. Magic squares can... I will just outright not do a puzzle if the rules mention magic squares. That's just like an immediate no for me. I don't know. It's so tacky. Math racks. Math racks puzzles. How do I feel about math racks puzzles? I haven't done that many of them, but I think they can make it up to average. I'm probably enticed if I see a math racks puzzle. Okay. Yeah, next time I do a setting challenge, this is really gonna, or like a 2,000 subscriber celebration or something. I'm really gonna regret having done this, aren't I? Is Minesweeper just counting anything, or is Minesweeper meant to be counting something specific? Because if Minesweeper is like counting anything in all of the surrounding cells, I think it's usually quite good. All sweeper types in general. Okay, so yeah, I think that there's lots of cool stuff that you can do with that. Okay. I hate to say this. I know I've done multiple modular lines puzzles and that I've liked them. I think every single one of them has been by... Who is it by? I just did one in the challenge right now, and I can't... I want to say JC Godard, but that's not right. Sinclair. I think it's JW Sinclair has done the modular lines puzzles. And I think I've liked them, but I've not done a lot of them. But I've liked the ones I've done. So I'll give it average, but with maybe upward potential. I'm just not doing a non-consecutive puzzle. Non-consecutive is just not happening. I mean, the setter just has no control in non-consecutive puzzles, so it's just not going to work. Numbered rooms can go... sorry, Codec, close your ears. Numbered rooms can go in the burn it pile. I really don't like indexing puzzles. I don't know what offset is. Is outside like literally any clue outside the grid, or is it some specific type? I'm not sure. Okay, it's something specific. In that case, I don't know what it is. Palindromes, I mean, palindromes are just clones, so we can just throw that in the bucket with clones. I think palindromes are also used. I think they're underused, but I think they're very cool, and they lead to some neat stuff. Parody Party is in the same bucket as modular lines, except it's Glum Hippo, who is the only one who I've ever done a Parody Party puzzle by, I think. Actually, I think there have been Parody Party lines in some Playmaker puzzles I've done. I think I've liked them, but I have not done that many. You know, I've never done a pencil mark puzzle, but I think they're really cool. So I will say that. Let's see. Okay, position sums. You know, Jay Dyer, I gave the entire exposition about Parody Party I did specifically so that I would not have to pretend that I remembered what it means. It's like the sum of all the first even, or sorry, it's the sum up to the first even or the sum up to the first odd in the row, I think. Yeah, Nell puts it well. Some of these constraints are, you can make 5 good puzzles with this, but I've already done the 5 puzzles. And I mean, any constraint you could probably make a puzzle with it, I would really like. I mean, I've quite enjoyed many 159 puzzles that I've done, for example. But at this point, I feel like I've done the 159 puzzles that I'm going to enjoy, and I don't really want to do more of them for the most part. I'll do one once in a great while. But it's like the sort of kid in a candy store effect. If there's something I liked, but then I did a ton of them, then I might get sick of them. And so like chaos construction also makes it in a similar vein. I don't think I know what position sums is. I think quadruples are like borderline god tier. I think quadruples are amazing. Ratio pairs, of course, are god tier. There's no question about that. Right with Renban. These are the two. If you really are forced to put these things in like the rightful order, Renban and ratio pairs are the top. Ratio pairs just means black dots, by the way. I don't know what Rossini is. Let's see. S cells. Oh boy. This is painful. I think S cells are in the, if I see an SL puzzle, I'm less inclined to do it. I think exactly as Eleventicle says, I think S cells are a 5 puzzle only mechanic. I think they have problems. I think there have been some very, very cool S cell puzzles. I think Sandwich is exceptionally good. I like Sandwich and Sandwich variations thereof. I enjoy that. Let's see. Skyscraper. Skyscraper hurts my brain, but I'm gonna give it, and this is me being generous, I'm gonna give it bad puzzle for Skyscraper because I still do them voluntarily and deliberately, just only rarely because they hurt my brain. But I'm not dissuaded from doing a puzzle. Because it has skyscrapers in it. But it's something I do only rarely. I think I've only done a handful of slot machine puzzles, so I'm just going to put that one there. I don't even know what sum frame is, so I'm just going to put it there. Thermos, I think, are... We're debating here between pretty good and average for thermos. I think thermos have a lot of potential when used well, but I also think 90% of thermo puzzles are exactly the same puzzle, where you like do single candidate eliminations until you get a triple, and then woo, that lets you eliminate the thing, and then tells you the thing, and I do not like that kind of thermo puzzle. But if you give me a thermo puzzle where it's about like, where did these digits go in this box kind of thing, then there's a lot of potential. Or if you want, I also like thermo for easy puzzles. I think thermo makes fun easy puzzles. I haven't done enough vault puzzles. I think I've done 2 or 3. I think Windoku is extra regions, except you're forced to pick these exact extra regions that have this annoying technical thing that you have to teach people about every time you do it. But I won't, strictly speaking, say no to a Windoku puzzle, so I'll put it here in this tier. XV, I think, is just below exceptionally good. I really like XV pairs. I think those are excellent. I think the problem with XV is that there's not a whole lot of modality in it. Like, once you understand that you just have to like triple color everything to do XV puzzles. There's not a lot that goes on. And then X sums. So for me, X sums are between average and meh. I think they're going to land in meh. I'm not the biggest fan of X sums puzzles. They can be used well. And like they can be an inoffensive thing to add, like in the same way that a little killer can be an inoffensive thing to add. But if a puzzle is like centrally about X sums, that's usually not too exciting. Okay, so let's go over the let's go over the tiers. So since especially because it's quite hard to read what's actually on the screen. So in God tier top, we've got Renban, black dots, white dots, region sum lines, and classic. So by classic, I'm including all Sudoku deductions and all that sort of thing, like fish go in classic, Jovi wings go in classic. Anything named after Jovi, I think, goes in classic, it's fair to say. In the exceptionally good tier, we have arrow, diagonal, double arrow, extra regions, killer, quadruples, sandwich, and XV. I'm realizing looking at this list that sandwich needs to go down a tier because I'm just slightly less excited about sandwich than I am about all the other things that are in this list. You'll notice a bunch of the kinds of extra regions I like Sudoku diagonal or Sudoku X, I tend to lead to some pretty cool geometry. So I seem to like those things. It was pointed out by Ranks that anything that involves adding digits, I tend to like. That's probably fair. I do tend to like those. Let's see. In the pretty good tier, we have perhaps controversially anti-knight. Then we have anti-XV, so XV with a negative constraint and Kropke with a negative constraint. Those are both ones where I'm happy to do them, and if I see one and I haven't done one in a bit, I'll pull it out. I like doing those. Clones, which I just think there aren't enough clone puzzles. There should be more clone puzzles. J. Dyer style deconstruction, I look forward to those. Yeah, I look forward to those style. I think they're sort of like chaos constructions, but with less of the parts that put chaos construction in a lower tier. I like seeing what people do with modifiers. Entropic lines, I think, are, we'll say, fine. Now, remember, dumediat, anti-diagonal is not the same as diagonal. Anti-diagonal is the one where you have to put like 3 copies of every digit on the diagonal. Perhaps you know that, but I originally had anti-diagonal up here because I didn't understand what anti-diagonal meant. Okay, entropic lines, Minesweeper stuff, although I feel like that kind of is general, whereas most of these are very specific. Yes, you can do your own ranking with the link if you are so inclined. I'm interested in where people's different things go. I'm going to have to go watch Naverio do this after this. Yeah, entropic lines. I kind of feel like entropic lines are actually a tier down. They're less exciting than the stuff that is here. So I'm bumping entropic lines down one. But thermometer, palindrome, sandwich, minesweeper, I think this is good. I think between lines actually. So I debated. I don't think between lines are a particularly good constraint. But I like them. So because I like them, I'm going to put them up one tier. But we'll put that there. Disjoints needs to go down a category because I'm looking at the stuff that's next to it, and I'm less excited by that. So we've got an average now. We have even odd, German whispers, Japanese sums, math racks, modular lines, entropic lines, and parody party. Okay, I'm happy with that collection of stuff. Dutch whispers is down here in this category. So that the next is the category. So far, basically, you can think of it as everything that I've said up until now, up to average, is stuff that I either am more likely to do the puzzle because I see it has that constraint, or I'm unfazed by it and will do it if it interests me otherwise. And now, so now we're down into stuff that if I see it in a puzzle, I am less likely to do the puzzle. So we're into chaos construction, Chinese whispers, Dutch whispers, 159, irregular, lockout lines, S cells, skyscraper, Windoku, X sums, and disjoint. Okay, so this category is I'm less likely to do the puzzle, but if I really like the setter, or the puzzle's highly recommended, or various other things of that sort, then I'll do the puzzle. So that is my vision on these. And then this next tier is the even if Tall Cat sets it, I might not do the puzzle. So anti-king, anti-diagonal, fortress, friendly, full rank. Although I did do a fortress puzzle by Tall Cat, so you can say that I have occasionally done these. So friendly stuff, full rank, greater than, less than, little killer, magic square, non-consecutive, and numbered rooms. So we've got all of those. I think little killer actually really can go up one. Little killer is not as reprehensible as some of these other things that are down here in this. But if you show me a pure little killer puzzle, I'm just not going to do it. But if you show me a puzzle that has some little killer stuff in it, like as a disambiguator or whatever, then I might do it. But your solver also dislikes pure little killer. Yeah, it is definitely... I think pure little killer is one of the, least appetizing combinations for me. Lord, anti-king, full rank. I mean, anti-king is almost into the next tier, but not quite. And then there's a whole bunch of ones that I just either have never heard of or have only done 2 or 3 puzzles or whatever. Let's see. ICHTUES asks if I could choose 3 constraints in one puzzle that I would like to see together. What are the 3 constraints I would like to see together? So let's see. I think... let me just scan the list real quick. I think Renban clone Renban clone diagonal. That is my that is my thing I've not seen that I think I'd be interested in seeing. Yeah, I mean, I think so. There's some interesting. There's some interesting, how much am I likely to watch a cracking the cryptic video, or how much am I likely to enjoy a cracking the cryptic video of Simon doing one of these? And a lot of these are a lot higher in that case. I mean, if you put anti-king and renban together, I'm more likely to do the renban. But I don't know. The geometry of anti-king is just so much less interesting than the geometry of anti-knight. Anti-knight, I grant, has a lot of problems. But that has been my my general experience with them. Let's see. Yeah, disjoint little killer. Yeah, oh boy, yeah. Disjoint little killer is a very sort of there is one of this puzzle, and I don't ever want to have to do it again. Would be my my way of putting it. You might recall that when we did, if you've been around the stream for a while, Clover had a whole bunch of setters make this this collection of 6x6s that had 80 different setters made a 6x6 for it. And one of the only puzzles I've ever skipped was a pure little killer that I was just nope, that's enough. But yeah, that is roughly where I feel like some of these are. Although a lot of these, it was sort of like, do I put math racks in average or do I put it in I haven't seen it enough sort of range? So some of these are sort of like, well, maybe if I saw a lot of them, then I might feel that it's better or worse. I don't know. Alrighty, well, that was fun. Thank you for making that, Neverio. Are there any constraints that I've heard of that that I should say that are not listed here? What is a lemon Sudoku? I'm curious now what a lemon Sudoku is. I'm waiting for Neverio to tell me what this is. Someone did mention look and say. Look and say, let's see. I've been liking them more lately, I have to say, with the look and say cages. I mean, I guess it's usually ambiguity. I'm surprised ambiguity wasn't on here, because I feel like ambiguity puzzles would be in the exceptionally good tier. If you just put any kind of ambiguity puzzle, that's definitely in the I'm gonna look at it if I see it. Oh, the lemon sum gives you the 2-digit sum. That's interesting. I do feel like every vault puzzle I've done has been by Cogito, but I've only done like 2 of them or something like that. But maybe I did one by Quinlex? I don't know. Let's see. Alrighty. Well, that was fun. Let's do a 2-10th puzzle. So let's do this. So this is just a normal killer puzzle. So the digits in the cage sum to the digit at the top left, and you can't repeat digits in the cage. Yeah, Tallcat, that was tricky because I feel like I like between lines more than I should like between lines. So, like, part of me wants to list it higher. Okay, so if I'm going to make 3 digits add to 8, one of them's always a 1. Okay, why is my keypad not letting me put in a 1? Oh, it's because I'm in letter mode again. Oh, I need a betting tree. Has anyone done... I bet 17 people have done this puzzle and can tell me where the betting tree should go. I feel like this puzzle is going to be about roping. Or the lack of roping. So, yeah, that's exactly what this puzzle's about. Okay, so this is the break-in, I'm pretty sure. So... I meant to look at the yellow cells, and I meant to look at this box and ask where the yellow cells go in this box. Of course they don't go here. So here's the question. What if none of the yellow cells go in the 22 cage? Well, then they all go here, and then they all go here. But now where did the cells in this cage go in this box? And so now they go here, and now they go here. And so now these are all the same. And we have a very big problem because now the sum of the digits in this box is 8 plus 22 plus 14. And so that's a problem because that's not 45. And so I think the whole point of this puzzle, I think the whole point of the break-in is that there's a digit in common between the 8 cage and the 22 cage. And what's the smallest number I can possibly put in a 22 cage? It's a 5. And so this has to be 589, and this has to be 125. Gorgeous. And so now there's a 5 in the 14 cage, which maybe does something. By the way, if you're not aware of the magic of the killer calculator, there's a magic killer calculator that is included courtesy of Sven. And so let's see. This is a much better implementation of the idea that I had for my my puzzle in the CTC app. So yeah, so there's a 1 and a 2 down here. Oh, oops. Sorry, I moved this. I can move it back. There we go. Okay. So there's a 1 and a 2 down here. So this 14 cage has neither a 1 nor a 2 in it. And so this is a 3, 5, 6 cage. And so 3 and 6 live up here. Sorry, 3 and 6 live up here. This 10 cage is, of course, it's not 3, 7, and it's not 5, 5, and it's not 4, 6 either. Let's see. So I know there's an 8, 9 down here. So I know there's an 8, 9 up here. Interesting. Okay. So there's a 3 and a 6 here. Alrighty. Well, that petered out quickly. Good point. There's a 1 or a 2 in this cage, and it's here. That's Ambrose. So that's an 8 or a 9 for sure. That's right. I never got a betting tree, I don't think. We're going to put the betting tree here. Go ahead and place your bets on the betting tree. I should have done a betting tree on where I was going to mark the constraints for the tier list. Let's see. So I might be able to do a similar thing here, maybe? Can I do a similar thing with the 10 and the 21 and the 10? I don't know. I'm not sure. Possibly. Possibly is my answer. Let's see. Oh, and there's a thing going on with a 9 and the 21 as well. Okay. So yeah, I'm supposed to, I think I'm supposed to look more closely at, I'm not actually sure yet exactly what I'm supposed to look at. See, Mario says this has to be 3 or 6. If this was a 3-6 pair, then what would this 8 cage be? Why couldn't this be a 3-6 pair with this being 7 and 1? So yeah, So I know there's no 8 or 9 in here, so there's definitely 8 and 9 here. Could put up to a 7 in here. If I do... No, if I do 1, 2, 7, I can put up to a 7 in here. I'm pretty sure there has to be a digit in common between these. If this is 4, 8, 9, then that's a 4 and that's an 8, 9. For whatever that is worth. I know the 10 has a common digit with the 21 cage, because if the 10 doesn't have a common digit with the 21 cage... Oh, no, sorry. Never mind. I loved the break-in 2-10th. And not just because I saw it immediately. But it was a very cool idea. I'm now trying to reproduce it elsewhere. I'm trying to avoid putting an 8 or 9 in the 10 cage. I'm trying to make sure that I don't put an 8 or 9 in the 10 cage. But I don't immediately see what I need to do with that. This 9 is pretty small. I'm trying to decide if I'm supposed to be looking at the 10 cage and the 11 cage, or the 9 cage and the 21 cage. Let's see. If this 10 cage goes here, and it goes there as well, and now the 21 cage goes over there, but that looks okay. Ah, that's a good point. Right. So Tallcat's point is this. If this is a 4-8-9, it would force that 8-9 Sudoku logically into the 10 cage, which I cannot do. So this is not 4-8-9. So it always has a 7 in it. Oops, sorry. Always has a 7 in it. So it's either 5-9 or 6-8. I'm trying to understand chat's point. Right. If the 10 cage had a 7, I'd need to put a 7 in one of these cells, and none of them can be 7. So the 10 cage is not 7. There's not 1, 2, 7. That's beautiful. Beautiful, Ambrose. Beautiful. This cell sees an 8-9 pair. Because the 8-9 that is in the 21 cage, and there definitely is one, cannot be the same as the 8-9 that's in the 10 cage. And so there's an 8-9 here and an 8-9 here that both see this cell. So this is not the 8 or 9. This is the 8 or 9. Gorgeous spot, Ambrose. Gorgeous. So we have that there. Okay, so what are these? Well, I know what that one is, because that one is a 7 by Sudoku, or by JLib, whichever you prefer. That is a 7, and we get to do the 7 dance. Woo! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Row 7, column 8. Oh, yes, we can get our row column numbers back. Sorry, we had to turn them off for the last puzzle. Uh-oh. Well, let's see. I'm going to hit refresh. We'll see if it's a disaster. There we go. They came back. Okay, this is a 3, 6, 7 triple, because I need to put a 7 in this row somewhere, and the only place I'm putting a 7 is here. So this is a 3, 6, 7, which now means this is a 4. Which now means my 21 cage can't have a 4. Oh, my 21 cage already couldn't have a 4 in it. Never mind. It's either got a 5 or a 6 in it. This digit's always a 1 or a 2, because I need a 1 or a 2 there. Let's see. So these digits, I guess I might as well... yes, now it super can't have a 4 in it. These digits are 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 3, 4, and 6. These digits are 7, 8, 9. And these digits are 1, 2, and 4. Okay. I don't know if filling all that in did any good, but whatever. So this 8, 9 is over here. So this 8, 9's up here. This 8, 9's up there, that one. It's not immediately useful that I am able to see. Okay, so is there a forbidden combination here? So this could be 3, 6 and making that a 9. This could be 3, 7 making that an 8. Or this could be 6, 7 making that a 5. So I think this is always 5, 8, or 9, but I don't think that is a problem. This is, of course, 5, 2, or 1. Oh. Amphirio makes a smart spot. If this is a 3, then both of these are 5. So that's very smart. So that's not a 3. So that's not a 5, and that's not a 5 either. So actually, that's always a 1, 2, and that's always 8, 9. That's a very clever spot there. Let's see. Do I know this isn't roped yet? If this was 10 and that was 10, then this would need to sum to 10. But this looks to me like it could sum to 10 if this were 1 and 5. It looks to me like it could still be vertical. It could still rope vertically as far as I can tell. Oh, it breaks if I do it because of the sum. Okay, so if it ropes, then the thing we get is that these two are the same. Okay, and if I read chat correctly, the problem is these two are the same, and these definitely can't add to 21. So it definitely doesn't rope. Oh, I did it wrong? Oh, right, sorry. These are the same. If it ropes, because this yellow would go up here. So if it ropes like this. And so the question is, can this be 6, 7, 8? It looks like it can be 6, 7, 8. So I think the conclusion was only right in the weakest sense. I think the thing we're actually supposed to do is look at the sums, which is I wasn't claiming it wasn't easy. I was just claiming that the argument I gave before was not the right argument. The argument we're supposed to give is to actually look at all of this together. And so think about what the sum of these things would be. So yellow would sum to 21. Red would sum to, chat is flipping out for no good reason. I knew what I was explaining. I was just saying my previous proof was not going to work. So these sum to 31, right? Yellow, yeah, these sum to 31. So these would therefore sum to 41, and this would need to be a 4, but it can't be because the 4 is there. So they can't rope. Does the fact that they can't rope tell me anything? I mean, it feels important because that was the break-in, was to note that it couldn't rope horizontally. So it feels like it's got to be important that there has to be a digit in common somewhere between this thing and this thing. So here's the point. These need to have a digit in common, and we know the digit they have in common is not that 8, 9, and it's not that 1, 2. So this 3, 5, 6, whatever it is it needs to show up in the 21 cage, and it needs to show up in the 10 cage. Well, that certainly tells me it's not a 3, because the 21 cage can't have a 3 in it at all. So there's either a 5 or a 6 in the 21 cage, which we already knew, but it's that 5 or 6, and that 5 or 6 also shows up over here. So we learn again, this is not 127. For the 18th time, this is not 127. But that tells me that I can play games with this 5, 6, maybe? I don't think there's any, like, great truism for me to notice about this combination of 3-cell 10 cages. Is there, other than they all have a 5 or a 6, which is how I found the list to begin with? Okay, so if the common digit is 6, Twototenth asks me what that means. So if it's 6, then here there's a 1, 3, 6. And here there is a 6, 7, 8. Is the problem that the 1, 3, 6 puts a 5 here? Or is the problem... No, 1, 3, 6 doesn't break the 9 cage. I do know there's a 7 up over here, for what it's worth. I'm not quite seeing what's wrong with 1, 3, 6 here yet. Okay, so if this is 6, 7, 8, and this is 1, 3, 6, people are telling me that does something to this 10 cage. So it makes this a 9, 1, because remember the 8 and 9 or the 8 or 9 that's in the 21 cage is different than the 8 or 9 that's in the 10 cage. So because this would become 6, 7, 8, this would become 9, 1. But I'm not yet seeing what that being 1, 9 is bad. Oh, that's the problem. So if the common digit is 6, then I've just ruled 1 completely out of this box for the following series of complicated reasons. I can never put a 1 in a 21 cage. That's not complicated. If the common digit is 6, though, this is 1, 3, 6, so that rules 1 out of all of those. But if the common digit is 6, this is 6, 7, 8, which means this cannot be a 2, 8 cage. This is a 1, 9 cage, which then looks at those. So if you put those 3 together, what you see is if the common digit is 6, then you can't place a 1 in this box at all, which is a problem, because then you're going to have to put a digit twice, and the rules of Sudoku tell you can't do that. So in fact, the common digit is 5. And so that means that this is 5, 7, and 9. I don't really need my coloring anymore for that, I don't believe. Tough. Okay, so I know there's a 5 in here, but I don't think I know what kind of 5 it is yet. But now there's a 9 here. Oh, I am going to know, because there's a 9 here. So now this is an 8 and a 2. And so now there's a 2 over here. So now there's no 2 in this cage, Sudoku-logically. So now this is a 1, 4, 5. So same idea. This is a 9 and a 1. These digits are, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 6, 8, apparently. Let's see. The 8 in this box has to go up here. Because the 8 can't go there. This would need to be a 1. Wait, why did I think that couldn't be a 1? Oh, yes, that can't be a 1 because there's a 1 in the box. So this is not a 4-5, and it's not a 1-8. So it's either 2-7 or 3-6. Not sure which it is yet. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if this were 3-6, it would go there. But maybe I should be looking at this box now. Okay. So Screaming Ice Cube has a good point, which is that I need to put 1 and 4 in these cells. But this has to be one of them, because if this isn't the 1 or the 4, then this is a 1-4 pair, and this is a 10. So this is 1-4. Yeah, I assume that's what's coming next, Josh, is that I should now do the anti-roping trick horizontally. So I have to ask myself if it could rope horizontally. And so if it did rope horizontally, it would look like this. Which would then put yellow in these, and red in these. So let's see. So yellow would sum to 21. Green would sum to 9. That's 30. I would need this to sum to 15, but it can't because it sums to at most 14. So again, this can't rope. It would require this digit to be a 6. So there is a common digit between the 9 cage and the 21 cage. For whatever that's worth. Okay. So the 2 or the 3, okay, so this is Garian's point. There's a 2 or a 3 in this cage. It cannot go in the 21 cage, so therefore it goes up there. So therefore the 2 or the 3 doesn't go here. And so whatever 2, 3 is down here, it's ruled out of this 9 cage, which means this 9 cage is not 2, 3, 4. This 9 cage has a 1 in it, or is gray, take your pick. So therefore no 1 there. Therefore, there is a 1 there, so there's no 1 there, which means there is a 1 there. That was a very good spot, Garian. Let's see. Okay, so... So we need a 4, a 5, or a 6 in here. I don't see a lot of things to do with that. It doesn't break if I put a 1 in this 15 cage, does it? I don't think it does. I would need a 1 and then a 6, 8, or a 5, 9, both of which seem plausible. Yeah, the repeated digit between the 9 cage and the 21 cage, Eric points out, can't be a 4, because there's just not a 4 in this cage at all, because it's not 2, 3, 4. So the repeated digit is only a 5 or a 6. So this is not that. So this is either... So this cage definitely has a 7 in it now, so there's no 7 there. There's either a 7 here or a 7 there. Ah, yes. Where does the 7 go in box 1 is Tall Cat's point. 7 in box 1 is certainly not in the 9 cage, so the 7 is down here. So that's not the 7, and therefore that is the 7. Which means that this is, in fact, a 3-6 cage. Which means this is a 1-3-5 cage because it needs to share a digit with this 3-6. No, it needs not to share a digit with that. Sorry, it's the opposite. The 3 in this box goes up here. Sorry, that's what's actually going on. So this is not 1-3-5. It is 1-2-6. This is the worst part where I know that chat is already telling me that I'm wrong, but I've already fixed it. But there's a slight delay, so... I can look forward to chat all telling me that I said that backwards. Let's see. So this is a 1-2-6. So there's definitely a 2 down here. But I can't put the 1 and the 2 in the 15 cage, so this is always a 1 or a 2. The 6 now is the shared cage between these, so this is now 6, 7, 8. And so now that's not an 8, so that is 8. These are a pair of a 2, which goes there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a 9 that goes there. So let's see. What digit can I put here? So... 1 and 4, 1 and 4 is too small. 1 and 5 would work, but 2 and 4 would also work. Okay, so the so nothing. I don't think there's anything huge going on there yet. Let's see. I can egregiously pencil mark more stuff. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are from 1, 2, and not 3, 4, 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. And not 9, because the 9's up there. So there's definitely a 9 over here as well. In fact, this is just a triple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so this is also a triple. So this is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, 8, 9 as a triple. So if that's 7, 8, 9, this is 4, 5, or 6 for whatever that is worth. Let's see. The maximum sum here is 7. Right? The absolute maximum I can make these sum to is 2 and 5. So the minimum this digit can be is an 8. So I think this is always an 8 or a 9. Let me double check that again. So 2 and 5. Yeah, 2 and 5 would be the biggest. So that gives me an 8, 9 pair in the column, which gives me a 5 down here. It bounces up and tells me neither of those is a 5. That one's not a 9 either, because again, there's an 8, 9 pair. That one's not an 8, because again, there's an 8, 9 pair. Okay. I'm trying to see if I should do something with this 1, 2. Ah, okay. Tallcat points out now this cage can't have an 8 or a 9 at all because there's an 8-9 pair in this box and there's an 8-9 in this column. So we can cross out all the combos that have an 8 or a 9. But we also know that this 15 cage has a 1 or a 4 in it, so it can't be that either, and it can't be that. So the only thing this can be is 4, 5, 6. So Tallcat's point is well taken. So that's a 1, that's a 5. This is a 4, 6 pair. So that is not a 5. That 4, 6 pair looks up and sorts out my 3 and my 6. The 6 looks down and gives me my 3 and my 6 down there. Of course, none of those are 6, or all of them are 6. Take your pick. An odd number of them are 6. No, an even number of them are 6. Let's see. 11 Tickles has chosen all of them, so we just have to put it back and just deal with it. Let's see. What else can we do? I'm seeing that neither of these can be 6, so they're double 4. Let's see. Okay, we probably should actually get rid of the 6s. Theoretically. So this 8, 9 goes in one of those two cells, but I don't think that has that much to do. There is exactly one 7, 8, 9 in this 15 cage, points out Ambrose, because this column needs another 7, 8, 9. So this digit's never a 7, 8, 9. Because I can't have two 7, 8, 9s in a 3-cell 15 cage. Yeah, this 19 cage only gets one 7, 8, 9, because in this column there's two 7, 8, 9s already. So that is actually a little bit interesting, because I can rule out those 3 combinations, just because there's only one 7, 8, 9 left in the column. So there's always a 6 in this cage, just by examination. And so that 6 rules 6 out of there and out of there. And there's a 4 or a 5 in this cage. So there's a 4 or a 5 in this cage, which makes a 3, 4, 5 virtual triple in the column, which means that's not a 5. So that is my 1, 2 pair. Oh, Garion explained that a slightly different way. Garion just asked, okay, where am I putting the other 1, 2 in the column? That works too. Either way makes that a 1, 2, though. And this 6 means that's not a 6. And that not being a 6 means that's not a 7. So, yeah, we've got a 4 or 5. We've got an 8 or a 9. I know one of these two has to be a 7 now, which I can't imagine is useful. Yeah, I've got my last 3, 4, 5 over here. Let's see, Tallcat says this 8, 9 can't go in the 19 cage. If it did, it would land there. Let's see, Screaming Ice Cube says if that's a 5, then what goes on in here? And so this would have to be a 2, 4, 9? Is that a problem? Let's see. Tallcat says because 19 minus 6 is 13. Wow. That's amazing. That's gorgeous. Well set and well spotted to Tallcat. So the 2 digits in this cage that aren't 6 add to 13. So neither digit from this cage can be there because it would need both of them. And so that 8, 9 is actually over there. So this 8, 9 is over there somewhere. And so therefore that 8, 9 in this box goes here. That's not a 7. It's a very cool step. I like it. I'm not sure what it's going to do for me, but I like it. Right. I knew one of these two was 7 because I need to put a 7 in the column. And I can't put a 7 in this cage. So therefore, this is now the only place for 7 in the column. So that's a 7. That's the other 8, 9. And so by coloring, that's the other 8, 9. So they both see this. So therefore, that's 7. So therefore, this is blue. Da-dee-dee, da-dee-da. So yeah, I know the blue one is there. And I know there's a 7 in one of these two cells. Or they're both red, take your pick. So now there's definitely a 7 in here. So this is either 2, 6 or 3, 5. Well, if it were 2, 6, that would put a 2 over here. This would be a 2, 7 pair, because I can't repeat the 6. Or if it were 3, 5, the 5 would need to go over here, and this would be a 3. So this digit's always either a 3 or a 6. Weird deduction, but it's true. I think. Might be. 50-50. Right. The other 4, 5 is here. That's the point. Because there's a 4, 5 here, and there's a 4, 5 in the 19 cage. So there's no room for a 4, 5 in the 15 cage at all. So therefore the 4, 5, or therefore the 15 cage is 2, 6, 7. So that is 4 and 6, and that is 6 and 7 and 1. And those are, those are 3 and 6, making that a 9, making that an 8, and a 7. That 8 means these two need to add to 7. So they're 2, 5 in that order. That's a 1, that's an 8. It's a 4 and a 5. It's a 2 and a 7. Gorgeous puzzle, as always, 2-10th. Let's see, that's not an 8, that's not a 2. Let's see, that 1 comes down there, comes down there, comes down there. This is a 9 and an 8. Thank you, Sven. This is no longer able to be an 8 for a few reasons that I will let you begin to articulate. This is not a 5 or a 9. This is not a 2. This isn't a 2 either. These 4 cells are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is a 3 and a 2 and a 4 and a 7 and a 6 and a 7 and a 4 and a 3 and a 9 and a 3 and a 6 and a 1, 2, and 4 and an 8 and a 3 and a 2 and a 5 and an 8. I feel I deserve a round of applause for the fact that I remembered to actually fill in the other digit in this cage when I filled in the first digit. That is not normally my my mo. Let's see, 1, 6, 2. That's the 5. That's the 6. Let's see. So these two are therefore 4, 9. And so if these are 4, 9, it's a 9 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4. In this row, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In this row, we've got 1, 2, 3. And in this row, we've got a 1. Congratulations to all you 1-betters out there. Zach also congratulates you, is very proud of you. Gorgeous puzzle. I really liked that. That is, and this is, I think, the best execution of this idea that I have seen. And the fact that you get to use the idea not once, but thrice in the puzzle is very cool. Was this inspired by my CTC puzzle? You said this was Zeta inspired. I was, because when I saw the break-in right away only because I had already thought about the it can't be roped break-in idea. Oh, it happened. That's right. It happened on some other puzzle that I did of yours where there was sort of this whole roped thing. Alrighty, well, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back shortly with more puzzles and maybe more roping. We'll see. Be right back. Fear not, I have returned. And all that I ask of you is that if you've not yet liked the stream, please take a second to like the stream. Uh-oh. Tallcat is unfed. Someone should put out a bowl for Tallcat. If I know Tallcat, I suspect that Thai food will be door dashed to your door. I think that is how Tallcat usually works. Alrighty. So we have another killer puzzle by ICHTUES. And this one also, as most ICHTUES puzzles, has a diagonal. This is the good diagonal, I believe. We can't repeat digits on the diagonal, as we discussed earlier. I enjoyed that. Okay, and so we need to have our sums here. And so we probably have to sort out, we probably have to color 9 cages, is going to be my guess. So, for example, what are the digits that can go in a 3-cell 9 cage? The answers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, no, not this. The worst part about the letter tool is you can't turn it off. There is no button for that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because those are the only digits that can go in a 9 cage. And so that's a sextuple. So there's 7, 8, 9. You know I'm going to like it if a puzzle starts off with a sextuple. Let's see. What digits can I put in a 22 cage? I should fill that out too. It's digits that are at least 5. So these are all 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, this digit. So these two 22 cages, and this is Garian's point, which is very smart. This cell sees both of these 22 cages, which cannot be the same, because then these 4 digits would be from 3 digits. And so that means this can't be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, because it sees all of them, and so therefore it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's very cool. And so this 1, 2, 3, 4 does not appear in these two 9 cages, but these two 9 cages are different, and there are not 2 different 9 cages that don't include a 1. And there are not 2 different 9 cages that don't include a 3. And there are not 2 different 9 cages that don't include a 2. So therefore, this is only a 4. And we get to do our 4 dance. Thank you, Zach. Wonderful, wonderful. We should put down a betting tree. That is a good point. that looks innocuous enough. Unless the forces of evil have conspired, that should not be necessary. Okay, and so these are the two 9 cages that don't have a 4. So one of them is 1, 2, 6, and one of them is 1, 3, 5. And they both have a 1 in them, for sure. I know that's not a 4. The fact that they both have a 1 is kind of interesting. But I don't quite know what to do with it yet. So let's see. Maybe I should try coloring. Let's see. I know these two 9 cages are different, and I know these two are different, but I don't know if this one is this one yet. I don't believe. Let's see. I see multiple people saying 1 should be on the diagonal here in box 5. I don't yet understand why people are saying that. I believe it, but I don't see why. Let's see. For example, row 4, column 5 can't be 1. Because it sees the other 9 cage. Okay. So here's my explanation. It is not anything to do with the explanation I think that people in chat are seeing, but one of these two is a 1, because I need 2 1s total out of all of these cells. And because I need 2 1s total out of all of these cells, I need one of these to be a 1, and so therefore these can't be a 1. And now where are the 1s in this box? Only on this diagonal. I don't think that's at all what people in chat were seeing, but that's a way to do it that gets to the same place. So we got there. Probably not the way that people fantasized about, but we got there. So that is not a thing. I know that these are for 1 through 6. These are for 1 through 6. I want to start coloring, but I don't feel like I have a great way to... Do I know that these two aren't the same? I don't know. Oh, row column labels. Yes, you can have row column labels. But then I have to reset. I mean, I don't have to restart the puzzle. I just have to reload the page. These two 22 cages have something in common that I should know about. Yes, they all have 9s. Okay, so the same argument tells you that one of these two cells has to be a 9. So neither of these cells is a 9. So one of these two cells is a 9. So same exact argument that we did for the 1s. So let's see. So we only get one more digit out of all of these to go in this column. All the others are 7, 8, 9s. For whatever that is worth. If this is 9, that's 9. So I'm looking for where the 9 is going. I'm trying to see if there's something I can say about 9s by looking at these 3 22 cages together. I do not think there is. Okay. Garion has a smart point, though, which is that if I put 7 in one of these cells, it forces both of these cages to have a 7. Because if I put a 7 here, then the 7 is placed by Sudoku there. So that's not going to work. And the same thing happens if I make an 8 in one of these two cells. So these are only from 5, 6, 9. That is very, very apt. There is a good point from Screaming Ice Cube that I should have noticed, but didn't, which is that I know the sum of these cells is 21, and so therefore these 3 cells sum to 6. And therefore, I think they have to be 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's any other way to do it. If none of them are 1, then you get too big. So one of them is 1, but now if none of them are 2, then you get too big. Oh no, it could be 1, 1, 4, couldn't it? It could be 1, 1, 4. Because I could do 1 and 1, 4 down here. I think that's okay. Oh, right. This can't be 1, 4 because the way math works, that would also be a 4. And that's not going to work. Okay, so these are 1, 2, 3 for that reason. And so therefore this digit's not 1, 2, or 3 because it sees a 1, 2, 3 triple. So this digit is 5 or 6 and is not 1. And therefore this digit is the one that's 1. I guess that was the easy thing to see, was that when I asked where 1 went in this box, it couldn't go in this place that definitely saw a 1 for sure. Okay, this 5 or 6... is going to mean there are no more 5s or 6s in this cage. So these are only that. And there's definitely a 1 in this cage because of that. I think we knew it was a 1, 2, 3 triple, not for any fancy Sudoku reason. I think just mathematically it couldn't be not a 1, 2, 3 triple. There's just no other way to make it add to 6. So now because this cage has a 5 or a 6, though let me know if you disagree, Garion. If you can think of a way to make it work, I am willing to believe I screwed it up, but I think that's right. So these two sum to 8. That's not a 1 and that's not a 1. Let's see. This 5, 6 is in the green somewhere. This, Isabella makes a good point. This can't be 2 or 3, because if this was 2 or 3, this 9 cage would sum to 6. And even though a 9 is an upside down 6, it doesn't count. So if this is 9, so I'm looking at Medi's point. If this is 9, it means that's not 9, and this is 9, so that's not 9, and that's always not 9. So if this is 9, I can't put 9 down here. If this is 9, that's going to make this 9 and place a 9 in there. Wow. Okay, yes, I agree. Yeah, I guess here's the... that one's the easier one. Because if one of these is 9, of course I can't put 9 here. The only hard one is if 9 is here, I can't put 9 there because it would rule. Okay, yeah, this is a much easier way to think about it. It's really sort of like, for me, I think the nicer way to think about this is, where does 9 go in the 22 cage? It either goes in this box, in which of course the 9 doesn't go here, or the 9 goes here. In which case, then I can't put a 9 here because it would rule 9 out of this 22 cage. So the 9 on the diagonal is, in fact, definitely up here, is the point that I think chat saw a while ago. But that works out pretty nicely. Let's see. There's a 1 over here. Is that going to be exciting? Row 8, column 4. Wait, do you mean whichever green isn't 9? Ah, yes, this has to be the other 2, 3, because I need another 2, 3 in this box. So I agree with Gary, and this is the other 2, 3, so that's not a 5 or a 6. And so therefore this is a 5 or a 6. And that's a 2, 3 pair. So this digit's at least 5. So this digit is a 5, a 6, or a 7. It can't be an 8 because that would put a 1 here, and there can't be. So this is a 2, 3, or 4 only. Which is almost interesting in terms of what happens with the these things. I can note that this digit is not the same as that digit, for whatever that is worth. Not very much, I don't think. Okay, so 2/10 point is if this is a 9, that's a 9. And so that's a 9. And so now that's a 9. Oh, sorry, different Eric. So if that's a 9, we end up getting a 9 here. So what's the claim? Is the claim we always get an 8, or sorry, we always get... right, sorry. We've already broken it, right. If this is a 9, that's a 9. And so we therefore... wait, how did I get the... Right, and then there's a 9 here by the fact that I can't put a 9 in the 9 cage, but now I've put too many 9s down here. So Eric's point is that this isn't a 9, so this is a 9. And so that's a 9. Very nicely spotted. This isn't a 5 or a 6 because there's already the 5 or 6 for the cage is already there. This is a 9 because of this 22 cage needing a 9. There's a 9 up here just for the column. Okay, so one of these cells is definitely 1, because I know one of these 9 cages has to have a 1 in it. There's only one 9 cage that doesn't have a 1. And these 2 cells can't be 1 just Sudoku-logically. And any 2 9 cages need to have a 1, 2, or 3 in common, because every pair of 9 cages have 2 of them. And so this digit is one of those 2. So this is always a 1, 2, or 3. Let's see. Garion suggests 9 in box 7. Well spotted. That's got to be the 9. So now one of these is a 9. Oops. And now we get a Jovi wing on 9s, because I can't put a 9 in a 9 cage. So these 9s give us a Jovi wing, which tells us that that's a 9. And that's a 9. Okay, this cell can't be a 5, 6 because it sees both 5, 6s. Because remember, these 2 5, 6s... Wait, no, maybe those 2 5, 6s are the same. It's these 2 5, 6s that aren't the same. Never mind, I think I was going to say something wrong. No, this 5, 6 is that 5, 6, because this 5, 6 can't go in that 22 cage. These 2 are the same 5, 6. This is the other 5, 6. Ah, Nicholas with an excellent spot. Where is 4 in box box 7? And the answer is it can only go in the 9 cage, which means the 9 cage is 2, 3, 4. And means that's a 1. And of course that can't be the 4 because of the diagonal. That was very, very well spotted. So we've got that. So these are the others of... Ah, right. Green 5, 6 goes in here. Because where does green 5, 6 go in this box? It goes there. Which means this cage is not this one. So I think I wanted to know that for some reason. Why did I want to know that? I can't rightly tell you why I wanted to know that, but I wanted to know it for some reason. But there is a 5 or a 6 on this diagonal, which Ambrose points out. With that 5, 6 gives me that this is not 5 or 6. This is only 2 or 3. Oh, right. This I know is the other 5, 6. Isabella's helping me on this. This is the other 5, 6, because otherwise these 2 9 cages would be the same. And so where does this 5, 6 go? Not in the 22 cage, it goes here. That's why I wanted to know whether this was the same or not. It was because I wanted to place that 5, 6 there. And so if that 5, 6 goes there, that means that this is a 7 or 8. Okay. Row 3, column 8. Okay. Isabella's actually making a completely different point, though this is still valid. Isabella's point is this can't be a 4, because if this were a 4, these would need to be 2, 3, and it would break that cell. So this is a 5 or a 6, but it's certainly not the green 5, 6, because if it was the green 5, 6, then this would be a 4 tuple from 3 digits. So this is the yellow 5, 6. And so now these cells can't be 5, 6 at all, because they see both 5, 6s. And so therefore these are 2, 3, 4. That's what's going on with this cage. So this cell sees all of 2, 3, and 4. Wait, how I did what? How I said this can't be a 4? If this is a 4, what are these? Agree with it not being 4. Because these two 9 cages can't be the same. If these two 9 cages are the same, then these 4 digits are only from 3 candidates. That's my argument, Garion. Or alternatively, this 2, 3 is not in this 9 cage. So if this 2, 3 is not in this 9 cage, this 5, 6 isn't either. So, for once, it never happens, but I was right that time. So this sees both 5, 6s, so there's no 5, 6 in here, and so therefore this is a 2, 3, 4 cage. And now this can't be 2, 3, 4. And now actually there's a 2, 3, 4 triple in the box, so that's not 2, 3, or 4. So let's see. So yeah, we know one of these is a 1. These two 2, 3s are the same. Etc., etc., etc. Yes, where is yellow in column 6? Asks Medi. It's only there. So we've got our yellow 5, 6. I know one of these two cells is the green 5, 6, but I don't know which one yet. I don't think. I know these two 7, 8s are the same, but I don't think I quite know enough to try and Sudoku that into something. Oh no, I can. That's ridiculous. This 7, 8 is there, because I know this 7, 8 doesn't go in the green cage, so it's actually placed here, because that 7, 8 is also that 7, 8. So that 7, 8 goes there. So these two are the same 7, 8. It's actually placed. I was saying I didn't think I knew enough, but I did in fact know enough. Sorry, it's also that one. Oh, sorry, I'm doing Sudoku wrong. Yes, and I know it's in here because it's not green. And so that means that this orange 7, 8 has got to be in one of these two. Sure. I don't think that's going to do me a lot of good in the grand scheme of things. I somewhat kind of suspect this is not the thing I was supposed to look at, but I happened to incidentally look at it. Green is in here. The green 5, 6 is in here, Kurban points out. The green 5, 6 is in one of these two. I don't know which one. So the green 5, 6 is in one of these two. This cell's always a 5, 6, 7, or 8. Just by the column. We've used every other digit, but 5, 6, 7, or 8. It can't be the yellow 5, 6. And it can't be the orange 7, 8. Yes, so this cell is green, is the point. This is the green 5, 6, or 7, 8. Because these are the two that go there. I can probably make this clearer by actually putting the yellow there, because the yellow is there. And so that means this is green. And so it's the same as that digit, whatever that means. I don't know if I really want to give this a color or if I just want to color it. I'm going to just color it green-gray just to indicate it's one of these two digits. So it's the same as that digit. Okay, let's see. I am being told 1 in row 5 is placed, and it is, because 1, remember, is sort of corner marked over here. Row 6, column 3. C's 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm being told. Right, there's a 2, 3 there and a 2, 3 there, so it sees 1, 2, 3. Where does it see 4? Right, if this was a 4, I couldn't place 4 in this box, is the point. So this can't be a 4. So this can only be 5 or 6, because it sees that 7, 8 and that 7, 8. So this is only a 5 or 6. And it's not the green 5 or 6. So this is always the yellow 5 or 6. That is a very good spot to carry in. Which means yellow 5, 6 is here, just by Sudoku. Which means yellow 5, 6 is here, just by Sudoku. Means yellow 5, 6 is here by Sudoku. Let's see. Ah, 9 in row 9 is now placed there, which places 9 on the diagonal, which places 9 in box 1, not there, which means this isn't a 0-9 pair. Ah, this gets sorted out. So this is now orange, not yellow, and this is now yellow, not orange. Chat is pointing out. So these are the 2 and the 3 for the row, just by nothing other than the fact that 2 and 3 are the things that are left in the row. Gives me, of course, a 1, 2, 3 triple in the box. Gives me that these are 4, 7, 8. Coloring intensifies. Hey, Mavir, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we might be coloring 2, 3 pairs shortly. So you may well get your wish. So whatever this 2, 3 is, let's make this 2, 3 red. It goes with this over here, because it goes with green. So this is the other one. Let's make it purple. So red and purple are my 2 different flavors of 2, 3. So this is the red 2, 3, just Sudoku-logically. So I know the purple 2, 3 is in here. So of course this is the purple 2, 3. And I know the red 2, 3 is up here somewhere. green in box 3. Right, green in box 3 I know is up there. And so therefore this is red, a good spot to J40. So the red 2-3 is in one of these two, but therefore the red 2-3 is there for sure. So the purple 2-3 is in one of those two cells. Oh, and the 4, for that matter. One of those is a 4, so that's definitely not a 4. So this is a 7-8. I don't think I know which 7-8 it is yet. Red in column 3 only goes here. A good spot to chat. And this is purple by the diagonal. Very good. So for example, this cell and this cell aren't 2 or 3. Purple is here and red is in the box. So because purple is in one of these two cells, I'm actually going to flash that in just to show you this. This is a 1 per Ambrose. So this is purple. So purple's over in one of these two cells. Yeah, we've got this 2-3-4 triple. I agree. Let's see. Yeah, I know orange 7-8 is in one of these two cells. Do I know what color this 7-8 is? I guess I've got both 7-8s down here, so I don't necessarily... Okay, so let's color the other 7-8s. I never actually gave the other 7-8s a color. Let's make the other 7-8 blue. So that's blue, da-dee-dee-da-dee-da. So this cell is never 7-8. This cell is getting oddly close to being a naked single, I suspect. Let's see. Row 4, column 3 is a naked single. It's not 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, so it is 1, 2, 3, or 4, but it's not 1, 2, or 3, so it is a naked single 4. Very nice spot. So these are a 1 and a purple 2, 3. Yep, they're a 1 and a purple 2, 3. These are just a 7-8 pair in some order. I know blue 7-8 is in this column. I think that actually does it. No, it doesn't. Because I just know one of these two is blue 7-8. So one of these two is blue 7-8. But that doesn't quite do it. So one of these is the red 2, 3. That's the point. One of these is the red 2, 3. So we need to place the red 2, 3. Oh no, I could put the red 2, 3 there or there. Yes, this is a green and a blue. And this is a green or a blue. If I want to update my color scheme to reflect my level of coloring. Okay, I think I want to write out candidates for this cell. So it's not 1, 2, 3. I think it could be 4. with this being 5. I think this can be 5 with this being 4. Apparently it can't. I think this can be 6 with this being 3. I think this can be 7 with this being 2. And I think it can be 8 with this being 1, unfortunately. Yes, this is also green or blue. Okay, so we really do have a green-blue pair going on up here. So this is a green-blue pair. I had not fully appreciated that. Orange 7, 8 is in one of these two cells. An undeadly pattern. So whatever this cell is, in this box, it goes here. Oh, no, I don't know that this isn't red. Never mind. How am I getting orange 7, 8 here? Oh, yeah, where is orange in row 9 is the question. Where's the orange 7, 8 in row 9? And it's not there. It's not the 9, which somehow was invisible to me. So it is here. Good spot to multiple people in chat who got that. So this is the orange 7 or 8. This can only be 1, 2, 3, or 5, or 6, for whatever it's worth. This is a 1. Good point for the row. Excellent, Nicholas. So that's not a 1. So this is the other 5, 6, which is whatever the other color is. That's not yellow. It's green. It's the green 5, 6, and this is the 1. Okay, that seems big. So this is not 1, 8. This is not 5 or 6 anymore. In fact, this is the only place for 1 in the row. So this is a 1. This is a 2, 3, or 4. Just by the row. Yeah, where's the other 2, 3 in column 3? The point is I have this marked as being a 5, but there's a 5, 6, 7, 8 quadruple down here that I should have noticed. That means that can't be a 5, so that can't be a 4. And so this is purple, which means this isn't purple. It's nothing. And this is purple. So this is the 4. That makes this the 4. That means this is not a 5. This is a 6 or a 7. Okay, that's getting us ever closer to the big reveal of what's going on. One of these two I know is a purple 2, 3. This is a red 2, 3. Because there's a purple 2, 3 looking at it. This is a 4. This is a red 2, 3. So this is not red, it's green. And this is not green, it's red. So this green is a 5, 6. This red is a 2, 3. I don't know that that did a whole lot. This column, if I look at it, is not missing a whole lot of digits. We've got 1, 2, 3. We still need a 4. The 4 goes there. Got a 5 and a 6, and we need a 7 and an 8. So this cell is a 7 or an 8. Like that. The last one is in box 8. I am being told. So that's a 1. So these are 5, 6, 7, 8. So I just need a 4, and then I need the other 2, 3. So this is the purple 2, 3. So that tells me that I know the purple 2, 3 in this box goes here. Also, the 4 in this column now can't go there, so it can only go there, which makes this the other 7, 8 for the column. And so this being the other 7, 8 means that it is, what is the other color of 7, 8? Blue. Da-dee-dee-da-dee-da. I still need a red 2, 3 in this row. It now has to go here. I still need I need the other 5, 6 in this row. So that is to say I need the green 5, 6. So this cell is green. I can color the 7, 8s in box 6. Yes, because of that 7, 8. So this is the other color 7, 8, which is orange. And then this is the blue one. So now this is the orange 7, 8. This is unknowable. So let's have a look now at this column. So this column seems to still need a 2, 3. So we can fill that in. This box still needs the other 7, 8, as well as the other 5, 6. And I don't think I know the order yet, because of this sort of mess over here. But the point I think I'm supposed to realize here is that if I look at this 9 cage, oops, sorry, I want edges only. If I look at this 9 cage and this 9 cage, it tells me that these 2, 6, 7s are different because the 2, 3s are different. And so this 6, 7 is not blue or green. This 6, 7 is from the other pair. But the other pair includes yellow. And so this is not a 6 at all, because basically this is either yellow or orange is what I'm saying. But it's not yellow because we already have the yellow in the box. So this is in fact orange. And so then orange is 7. And so therefore purple is 2. And therefore red is 3. That was a very cool reveal. I like that a lot. Red is 3. This is, who knows? Okay. Blue is 8. That I know. Oh, no, I have to be careful with that one. Oh, purple is 2. I didn't get all of them. So this is now the other 7, 8. This is the 7, 8 that's not orange. So this is blue. And this is orange. And this is blue. This is the other 5, 6, right? This is the green 5, 6. I don't think I know what that is yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the blue 7, 8, which is an 8. This is the other 5, 6. So this is the green 5, 6. So blue is an 8 and a 7. This now is a 6, and so 6 is not blue, we know, because blue is 8. So this is not blue, so it's green. So this is blue. It's not green. This is not blue. It is green. This is not green. It is blue. And so that's going to help us sort out some of the things. I'm being told that this is broken. This does seem broken, because I think I just filled in that this cage is equal to 8. That was probably the intended sum of the cage all along. The proof was that 8 equals 9. We may have made a horrible mistake. Okay, let's go back to where we filled in what the colors were. Did we screw up that logic somehow? Yeah, it would be much easier to just fix that to be an 8. Okay, so apparently the problem is that my logic that with these two 3s was wrong. So I think what we're learning is we don't actually know that this is yellow or orange. I think we have to muddle onward, and think about that differently. Although that seemed like a very appealing argument to me. But alas, what are you going to do? Okay, so Garion wants us to do math. So that green plus blue is 13 from this 22 cage, which is a little disappointing, but we can look at it. So green plus blue is 13. So green and blue are either 5, 8 or 6, 7, but they can't be 5, 8. Oh, maybe they could be 5, 8. Never mind. Oh, no, they can't be 5, 8 because one of them is 6, 7. So the point... Okay, that actually... Never mind. I retract my grousing. That is cool. I thought this was going to be a very boring reveal, but it is not a boring reveal at all. Because the point is, these need to add to 13, and one of them is 6, 7, so therefore they're both 6, 7. Oops. Okay, so it is not a boring arithmetic thing, which is what I thought it was going to be. So after that didn't work, I thought that was going to be very cool, but that logic was wrong. But this is still 6, 7. And so that tells me that orange is... Sorry, I need to switch to this mode. Highlight orange. Orange is 8. Blue is 7. Not these blues. Those blues are 7. So we know that this is green or blue. Let's see. We can fill that in. Yes. There is this cage. 9 plus 8 plus what is 22, and the answer is 5. So yellow is 5. And so green is 6. Again, omitting those. And now we know that this cell is actually green. It's not blue. Let's see. I still need my blue for this row. So I can use this 9 cage now. So purple is 3. Oh, Garion thinks I messed up filling this in. we will... Oh, I think I just clicked all the greens, and I think I accidentally filled this in just by not realizing I needed to unclick it. Oops. Dagnammit. Not these, not these, not that one. Sorry, yes, you're totally right. These need to be 6s. Do you need me to go to break?
Can you go to be right back?
I'll be right back. One moment. I hath returned. Yeah, I don't think the auto select for colors was designed by someone who uses colors. Okay. So let's see. I was filling colors though. 8 in row 1. Ah, yes. Yeah, where does orange go in row 1 is now the question. And so orange in row 1 goes there, and therefore that is an 8. And therefore this is a blue. And therefore this is an orange. And therefore this digit is a 6 or a 7. So this is the other blue-green. 6, 7. This is the other blue-green 6, 7, I believe, right? And this is the other blue-green 6, 7. So I think we get a bunch of blue-greens to sort of finish off the coloring. There. So now this purple tells me that purple is 2. Which tells me that red is 3, which tells me that this is a 7, which means it's blue, which means I have to percolate. Oh, I tried to do it exactly the same way I did before. Purple is 3 in order to make that add to 9. So that's 2. So this is 6, so it's green. And so this is not green, this is not green, this is not blue. And so this goes 7 and 7 and 7 and 6. And now this is a 7, so therefore it is blue, which means that this isn't blue, and this isn't blue, which means this isn't green. And so we get a 7 and a 7 and a 6 and a 6. Quick scan to see if it looks like we've got all the appropriate colors. Should be 3 uncolored cells per box. And this is of 1, 4, and 9. This is 4. That was very cool. I liked that one a lot. Although now I'm curious if this is attempting to spell Pheonix. Because I'm not a big fan of Pheonix, the city. But the puzzle was very fun. Very neat stuff. And I liked the reveal at the end. Was well done to be a little bit different than most of these. Let's see. I see Isabella in chat. Can I do this puzzle in 30 minutes, do you think, Isabella? Or should I save this for another time? The only reason I assumed it's the city is because I think every I think every ICHTUES killer diagonal puzzle is named after a city in the US somewhere. Although presumably they'll run out of US cities and start using international ones at some point. I'm not sure. All right, well, let's do our best to do this Isabella puzzle before the end. So digits in circles are odd. So these are 1, 3. Dagnammit. Please give me an option to never, ever, 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 ever suggest the alphabet tool. I would greatly appreciate it. That is my ultimate fantasy. Okay. These are black dots. They say that the cells have a ratio of 1 to 2, and these are white dots, which say that they are consecutive. So all the mechanics in this puzzle, you can note, ranked highly on the fancy tier list that I made earlier. So every string of 3 black dots like this always has a 2 and a 4 on it, and the center of those is always 2 or 4. And so the point is all of those are even. These are all odd. And we're going to start using coloring just because it seems fun. So this is a consecutive with an odd digit, so it's even. So we get that. Odds and evens showed up on the tier list in the average tier. Oops, there we go. Let's see. I don't think it even has turn off letter tool anymore. I think the only thing now is choose which way you want to enable letter tool. And I want the way that I enable letter tool to be never. But that does not seem to be an option anymore. Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. There's one at the top. I did not find that. Okay, so you can disable it at the top. I thought it was added as a permanent quote-unquote feature. So this digit's always a 6 or an 8 because it sees a 2 or a 4. And so this can't be a 1 or a 3. So if this were 5, 6, this could still get away with being 7, 8, 9. Otherwise, these digits are all small. If this is 2, 4, 8, then there's a 6 over down here, and that's a 6, and there'd be a 6 over here. Let's see. Box 3, row 1 must have a 6 or an 8. Right, there has to be a 6 or an 8 up here. That's true, because I need an even on every white dot, and then this can't be 2 or 4. I actually kind of want to look at like the roping thing and whether this could be roped. But I kind of don't think that's what I'm supposed to do. I do know that all of these cells are from 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, if that is what you want me to indicate. Sorry, 1, 2, 4, 8, if that's what you want me to fill in, Nicholas. So if this were odd, that would consume all of the odds for the box, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 odds. And so everything else in the box would be even. Yeah, so if this has no digits from the black dots, it goes there and it goes there. And now this black dot, this could only be a 1. And these would be a, like, 2-4 pair. And then this would be a 1-2 pair with a 4 there. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'm supposed to look at this row. I've used at least 3 odds and 3 evens for this row. If I use all the evens for the row, then all of these would be odd. Which I don't quite see what to do with as of yet. Isabella does have a habit of tricking me into doing set puzzles. Okay, so I need to clear the coloring, I believe. So I think the idea that we were going to get to color was a lie. 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so we're supposed to do set with this against this, I believe, is what is being suggested. So I'm trying to remember. I think it was Joe Wovren who did a puzzle I liked that had a similar twist to it with these. Okay, so in blue we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 odd digits. Whereas in yellow, we have exactly 9 odd digits and exactly 9 even digits. So the point is every other blue cell has to be even because we need 9 evens in blue. And so these aren't 1. And these are all... And conveniently, I even labeled... I mean, I guess I'm not going to quite keep it that way. I'm going to redo my coloring in a second. But these are from 2, 4, 6, 8. That is very clever. No shade about that use of set, for me at least. Okay. So, therefore, we get to blue a bunch of stuff. It's funny that a lot of the stuff we're bluing now was blue before. We get to orange a bunch of stuff. This is blue. So I've got all of my evens for row 4, is the point. And so therefore this cell has to be a 1. And we get to do the 1 dance. Woohoo! Waha! Ba-da-ba-da! Waha! Ba-da-ba-da! Waha! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba! Ba-da-ba-ba! Ba-da-ba! Ba-da-ba-ba! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. We have a 1, and so that means we get a 2 and a 4. So the last 6, 8 is over here. I very often think of the line, "I blew myself for you, Michael." Afraid not. It is one of the best of the many delightful lines from Arrested Development. That is blue as well. So the last blue digit for the row is on this white dot, because the white dot needs an even, so therefore this has to be a 1, 2, 4. So These aren't 2 or 4. Oops, I screwed that up. This is not 2 or 4. That's not 2. So the only even digit left in this column is a 2. I don't think I know anything about that immediately. Yes, there's an even on this white dot. Together with those 3 makes this a 1. So it's orange. Oops. And we get to go to 4. So this is a 6 or an 8. That's a 6 or an 8. There's a 6 or an 8 on here. This is not a 1. This is not a 1. The last 6, 8 is on here, so these are both odd. The last blue in this box is on here, so these are all odd. The last even in this box is on here, so these are all odd. The last even in here is on this dot, so these are all odd. Do we have like a swordfish on 2s? I think we have a swordfish on 2s. Because I think the only places for 2 in this column are here. The only places for 2 in this column are here. And the only places for 2 in this column are here. So yeah, we have a swordfish on 2s. So I'm going to mark these in green. These are the only cells in their columns that can be 2s. And therefore, by the magic of swordfish, they are the only cells in their rows that can be 2. So that, I mean, assuredly must be interesting, right? I don't yet know what to do with it, but it is interesting. So the 1 in row 3 is the other green cell, is the point, because the 2 can't go on a dot, the 1 can't go on a dot. So this is actually a 1-2 pair. When I look at this row, the same thing is true, because that can't be a 1, because there's already a 1 in the box. So these are also a 1-2 pair. And when I look at this row, the same thing is again true. These are a 1-2 pair. That's super clever. So this is not a 1, that's not a 1, that's not a 1, that's not a 1, and that's not a 1, and that's not a 1. Okay, but this can't be a 1 because it would put a 2 here. So this is 2, 3, 4, which resolves my whole weird swordfish, like that. So that's a 2. This is a 3, 4, like that. So I can now get rid of my green so that I can color appropriately. So these are all orange. These are all blue. This is not a 2 or a 3. So there is a 4 up here somewhere. Oh, there's a 2 just placed here. Might as well do that one. That one's low-hanging fruit. And so there's a 4 placed here. Might as well do that one too. And so there's a 4 in one of these 2 cells. If the 4 was here, this would go 4, 5, 6. It's not necessarily a problem. I need a 2 and a 4 in row 8. It is being pointed out. And so they go here. This is a hidden pair, and I know the order. So the last even in this box is here, so these are both odd. This is a 1 by Sudoku. It has been pointed out by someone in chat, by Josh. So then this is an even, so this is 6 or 8. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is 3 in column 3? Very good spot. So that's a 3. That's not a 3 anymore. Thank you, Jenna. Let's see. Oh, there's still a 1 I haven't placed yet, apparently. So that's the 1 I haven't placed yet. I think that's all the 1s, right? Oh, it's not all the 1s somehow. There's still a 1 there to place, which makes that blue. I think now I've placed all the 1s. So this is a 6 or an 8. Where is 3 in box 2? Because I can't put 3 on this dot because the 2 and the 4 are gone. So this is a 3. Thank you, Jim. Let's see. No, not... Oh, yeah, this row has all of its odds, so these are all even. And so, therefore, that's odd, and that's even. So this is a 6 or an 8. I'm trying to see if any of the options break here. I don't think so. But now one of these has to be a 2, and Ambrose is pointing out I know it's that one. Yeah, where is 3 in box... Oh, yeah, where is 3 in this box? It's certainly not on this dot, so the 3 in this box is here. Per Nicholas. That is not a 3. So therefore, where is 3 in this row? Only here. So this is a 5, 7, or 9. This is a 5, 7, or 9. So one of these two is a 3, but I don't know which one. I probably have to start coloring my 6/8s, don't I? This can be yellow flash 6/8. This can be green flash 6/8. Yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green. Don't worry about the fire extinguisher. I promise I'm not going to die. Tristan is cooking, which usually involves setting off the fire detector if he's making curry. It's well worth it, I promise. His curry is amazing. Row 6, column 1. There we go. That's the thing I was looking for. Garion found it. The thing I was looking for. This cell sees both flashes, so this cell can't be even, so it's odd. That's going to do it, the puzzle, I believe. So now this is green. This is green 6/8. Maybe it doesn't, actually. It might not do anything at all. But now this cell okay, so it percolates. This cell now sees both of them, and so now this is odd, and this is the yellow 6/8. Okay, that did not do what I thought it was going to do. Yes, where's the green 6-8 in row 7? Only here. So that's the yellow 6-8. So one of these two is the yellow 6-8. The 3 in row 7 is here. Annoyingly, I think this one can be a 4. Oh, no, it has to be a 4 because it sees yellow and green. Okay, that's what I was expecting, because it sees yellow and green, so it has to be a 4. Okay, and so now this is not a 4. This now has to be the green 6-8, which means this digit's always a 7. Which means that this dot has a 4-5 on it, which now means that this is orange and this is blue. That is a 9 and a 5 and a 4. That is not a 9. This is a 5 or a 7. Sven's going to be very helpful in this puzzle at this point, I suspect. In this row, we have a 9 and a 5 left to place. We can place the green here, making that orange. So we can place the yellow here, making that orange. So this sees both, so it's orange, making this green-blue. Hey, Ben. Hope you're doing well. I was doing a good bit of obsessing over the U.S. midterms, too, so I can relate. But Sudoku is more fun, if I'm being completely honest. Let's see. So do we really not get to disambiguate it over here yet until I do more Sudoku? So there's definitely a 7 on this dot, which doesn't tell me much, but does tell me that this digit has to be a 9. So that's going to be a lot. And so green is 8. Let's see if it will let me double check the green flash. It will not. Okay, I didn't think it would, but I figured I'd try. It would if I was Tristan. So these are 8. Very good spot to Josh there that's going to do it. And so these are 6s. And so now these are a 5 and a 7. This is a 5 or a 7. One of these two is a 9, but it's not the one that's next to a 6. So that's a 9. This is not a 9. That's not a 9. Well, finding the hard way is what this channel is all about. These are a 3 and a 9, which somehow I don't think I know the order on. So this is a 5 or a 7, but it's not a 5. So that's a 7 and a 5, making that a 7. Making that a 7. Making this a 9 because it's next to 8 and it's not a 7. Making this a 5 because it's the only odd left. So that's a 7 and a 5 and a 7 and a 5 and a 7 and a 3 and a 9. So that's no longer the 7. So that is the 7. That's the blau. That is therefore 1, 2, 3. Why can I not? Okay, there we go. This is also orange. Therefore, this is blue. But this is the yellow-blue kind of blue. This is the yellow-blue kind of blue. Alrighty, so that's a 6 and that's a 6. This is a 7, because I just said it's a 7. This isn't a 7, so it's a 9. So that's a 5, and a 9, and a 7. And that's a 5. That's a 9. I realize at this point we forgot to put a betting tree in the puzzle. You can take bets on what this cell will be. Bet quick. This is a 5. And the betting tree, for those of you who have been waiting with bated breath, is a 3. Excellent demo of all of these constraints. Very nice puzzle, Isabella. Yep, and just in time. With chat's help, I believed that it was probably possible that we could do it in half an hour, unless you said there was something untoward here. But very nice. I liked that a lot. Alrighty. Sorry to Ben, who just showed up, but in time for the stream to end. But you can go back and watch the VOD instead of going back and watching more election coverage if you are looking for something to do that's not election coverage. But thank you to everyone for showing up. I had a lot of fun today. It has been enjoyable. I'm trying to think if there's anything coming up that I should advertise or whatever. If you haven't yet liked the stream, please do so. I appreciate that. I will be streaming again on Sunday. So if you have not yet, or so if you were not aware and you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing so that you can come by on Sunday. And as usual, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do that by clicking the join button down below. It'll get you the green nicknames that you can see a bunch of people showing off in chat. You can do that for as little as $5 a month. So if you, I stream about 50 hours a month. So if you want to kick in $5 for that, it's appreciated. Yes, please do. But if you want to contribute more than that or whatever, you can buy into other things. Like you can, for a higher amount, you can vote on puzzles that I do, because I always start stream with something that people voted on. And if you want to donate more than that, it's very appreciated. It helps keep us going, helps get me to keep doing this, which I really do enjoy. So I appreciate the people who support us and help us keep going. There are a bunch of you who do. It really does. It does help. Alrighty. Also, I should thank the people who really do sort of like go above and beyond and contribute at the tip-top level. So those are our turbines, David, Michael, Nordy, Franco, and Woofer. Thank you very much to all of you. And thanks everyone for watching. It's been fun hanging out. I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.